Okay, we'll have to make sure that we don't get copyright struck for some stupid reason. What is this? Say something. Here we go. Web browser. Oh, I should do a poll. Hang on. Start a Q&A. Start a poll. Let's see here. I don't know if we need a poll, to be honest. Ooh. Here's a good one. There we go. Perfect. All right, can we pin that, or does it pop up every time? I think it pops up every time. That's what she said. All right, let's see here. There's supposed to be a way to dock this into, God, if I can remember how to do that, that'd be awesome. Shit. I'll just leave it up. It's whatever. Ooh, forgot I also got Streamlabs chatbot set up, I think. If I'm not mistaken. We'll just fire this sucker up and see if it does anything. Alright, Gonna give it just a minute, and then I want to get into... God, it's been a cluster, you know what, of a day. Holy crap. There's so much to cover, so much to talk about. Well, I can minimize that for now. I even made a point of having some notes because I didn't want to get off topic. Hang on one sec. Sucker over here. Connect. Connect. Let's see if we got this working properly. It says connected. Alright, I'm gonna grab some water before we get going, and then I'll start on... I think we're gonna start with Tim's response video today, which was 48 minutes long. I don't know if I want to do the whole video or not. We're gonna go kind of piece by piece through it, because I had a lot of thoughts I wanted to share on this shit. This response, I don't know. Like, I understand being frustrated, but holy shit. There was something, there is something else going on here. One sec, turn this down so I don't get this is copyright-free music, but for whatever reason it gets copyright claimed. Screw it. All right, let's get going on this freaking video. We're just gonna get started because it's 48 minutes long. I don't think I want to go through the whole thing. I listened to it earlier. It was painful enough the first time. I don't think I can do it again. So we're gonna go piece by piece through it. And I'm gonna skip a few parts that are just filler, and focus on the things that I really want to talk about. It's painful. It's like cringe-inducing at certain points. Alright, we can kill the music. We don't need that anymore. Alright, so where is this video at? Ah, yes, it's pulled up on BitChute. I prefer BitChute, no commercials. Alright, so Tim Pool addresses culture war, drama, grifting, and tribalism. Now, the funniest thing about this entire video, it says Tim Pool addresses tribalism, and he mentions it several times in here. At one point, he actually pulls the same shit that he's saying he hates, and we'll get to that in a second.
Currently, members of Congress
let me know if it's loud enough.
Twitter 1.0 executives, as some of
really loud to me. I don't know.
I don't think it's accurate because I think Jack Dorsey.
Skip ahead here. Just some opening monologue.
Andrea Ocasio-Cortez, and the other video she did, which exemplifies and talk about the personal drama, is because I rarely do. And
of course
I think
you do.
It's part of the bigger picture.
Darth Beanius being
Steven
salty.
Yeah,
pretty much.
And
how you doing, Marvin?
The Daily Wire. We were talking about this contract thing. Some people said, "I don't know who this is. Why does this matter?" Well, it's setting the news cycle, right? We talk about these things, At least I want to talk to Steven Crowder because, for one, he's particularly famous. He's a prominent personality. We have a conflict between these two organizations.
No, I'm going to pause this for a second. Hang on. So, something I noticed a lot when going through this video earlier, because I was listening to it, I was trying to make sense out of it. I was trying to figure out, like, for notes and stuff, what I wanted to talk about later on. He makes a point several times of talking about how this person's particularly famous, this person's noteworthy, this person's not noteworthy, this person, no one's ever heard of this person. Like, for some reason, he's got this self-inflated idea that he's noteworthy, like CNN or Fox News or something. Tim thinks he's a household name, okay? Yeah, he's big. He's big online. Did the cat go away? Okay, well, cat's gone. Let me turn that off. How do we get that off? Screw it, let's hide it for now. But the reality is, like, Tim is only famous and popular to the same people online who already know who Eliza Blue is, who already know who Steven Crowder is. I mean, news travels quickly online. And for some weird reason, Tim thinks that he is exempt, like he's on another pedestal. Like, you know, Joe Rogan's up here, then there's Tim Pool, and then there's everybody else. Like, everybody else is just, like, clinging to his heels, basically.
Daily Wire. And this may have precipitated the drama which involves me, but it determines the future of what the culture war will be. And in front of us, we have, I should say, some possibilities. Anti-woke or anti-establishment. And I think now's the perfect time to talk about what the future, address it. Before we do, head over
to timcast.com now.
Right wing on Twitter.
So he starts off with this whole thing about how AOC deliberately lies about how libs of TikTok called the hospital and then they caused a bomb threat and all this other shit, right? He tries to connect that to what the Quartering, Brittany Venti, and everyone else is doing, which is so freaking disingenuous, to be honest. Like, he's equating hyper-partisan politics and the lies that they'll say to people who have been censored on a platform and are lashing out at him for ignoring them when they're asking for help. I mean, that's basically what he's equating all these other people to. And it gets worse.
Are you familiar with the account Libs?
It's all fake for everybody. All of these people, it's all fake. They don't care. And I don't care for them. I saw this clip of AOC. But this is...
So, my view of it, at least, I mean, I've seen Ethan Klein in bits and pieces, little doses here and there. I can't stand him. Ethan Klein is one of those guys that makes me, like, physically cringe, not just like you watch him and you go, oh god, that was cringe. You know, literally, like, Ethan Klein talks and I physically, like, want to, like I seize up, okay? But the reality is, like, what he does in this video isn't any better. So
this is an example of what I'm talking about in the culture war. This is an example of what I despise.
Yes, what Tim despises. Very important.
What I think, you know, we'd be better off without. I don't know if it's beyond human nature to resist things like this. And I'm sure many people have argued that I've done similar things, and fair point. Quite literally, fair point. I've been saying it since I've started doing this back in 2016 or whatever. I see these things that make me angry. AOC, you know, lying about stuff. Maybe she's just wrong. I don't trust her. The performative outrage over Ilhan.
Get to the good stuff.
Posted here is titled, AOC loses her mind over libs of TikTok. We've since confirmed there's no evidence she had a mind in the first place. We regret the error. And I think about that and I'm like, yeah, I just don't know if I care about this stuff enough anymore, to be completely honest.
This is the weirdest thing. Okay, so he will later in the video go on to say that the reason he didn't talk about Jack Murphy, the reason he didn't talk about Eliza Blue, the reason he doesn't do gossip stuff, the reason he doesn't do e-drama is because he covers news and politics, and he covers the things that really matter. He covers the things that are going to shape the world and change the culture and all this other shit, right? But here he is saying that he doesn't care about something about what AOC is saying. Like it or not, AOC is a congresswoman, okay? She's part of Congress. So he's saying, man, I just don't know if I really care. Are you saying you don't know if you care about what she's saying, who she's saying it to, or what she's talking about? This video is, like, really all over the place. Like, I saw somebody else point that earlier, like, man, that was just like 48 minutes of what the hell is he on? Is he off his ADD meds or something? It's like, it's true. He doesn't have a coherent train of thought for most of the video. Like, he tries to connect it all, it just doesn't really come together.
Whatever it is that people expect or want in this space. That is to say, in order to rise to prominence in this
she's
space,
average
you
cute though.
absolutely
She's not like,
must pander
I don't
to
think
a
AOC's a
tribal
10.
force.
She's like a
You must be
7
like
at
AOC.
best. I don't know.
Express righteous indignation.
And then there's the things that
at
come out of
the
her
turn
mouth.
On a dime, the action of diehard fans, people who watch every single video.
Okay, we are 11 minutes and 40 seconds in. Is Tim a hypocrite, or are we talking about somebody else? Because Tim, I don't know what's up Tim's ass. Well, we're gonna get into it because somebody dropped some screen recordings from, I believe it was Adam Krigler, live streaming from his phone the first night that Eliza Blue was on Timcast, hanging out after the show with Ian and with Adam, and it's weird. Okay, it's there was, to say that Eliza did Timcast might not be a stretch. All right, so I think there's some weird hanky-panky shit. Look, we were talking about this, my wife and I, earlier, and I was like, look, the weirdest thing is the whole, they all live in a mansion together. They all live in basically a compound. Like, you know what happens in that situation. People are hooking up, people are shacking up, and it's like, it's like a bunch of college drama and shit. And he's over here saying he doesn't like e-drama, but his own house, I'm sure, is full of it. Oh, you're calling Tim a hypocrite? Okay, yeah.
And things like that. And
I think it's possible. I'm not sure.
And for that, I respect you. And I appreciate it. And then you have the more fickle overlap fans who watch because there's some kind of alignment in terms of moving forward. It exemplifies that these people are very much the exact same thing that AOC is, that I despise and think we need to do away with, and convince me that so long as the right and the left exhibits these same phenomenons, these same features of cancel culture and lies, then there is no real path forward. Or, I don't know, maybe that's just human nature. Humans want tribal conflict, and they will get it no matter what. Let me show you some stuff on YouTube.
All right, so this is one of those things right now, before he gets started. I kind of skipped over it. He wanted to talk about his audience. Who's really his audience, the loyal people that'll actually give him money and stuff and keep him supported and everything, right? And then there's the casual people, and that's me. So I'm coming at this, my response to Tim right now. I like to consume content from all different types of creators. Yeah, I don't listen to any far lefties. Okay, I don't watch Hassan. Hassan would just piss me off. I think Ethan Klein's an idiot. I wouldn't watch him if you paid me. But, well, depends on how much you pay me. But I am a normie when it comes to Tim Pool, The Quartering, Yellow Flash, just like the guys who exist in pop culture and stuff. They're all pretty much center-right, center-liberal, whatever. But I like to get different doses of different opinions at different times throughout the day, you know? Not the first time we've seen Cooter cause shenanigans, just saying. Yeah. Oh, God. But Tim goes on to basically deride anybody who's not part of the I'm only here for culture-changing politics and hard-hitting facts and journalism, and if I ever enjoy any sort of, like, e-drama or something that's not hard politics, get the fuck out of here. It's basically what he alludes to later on in the video, okay? That's what it all boils down to. He basically, and we'll get there, he singles out anybody like me who might say, well, today I'll watch some of the Quarterings videos, and yeah, okay, there's a video that's not really for me. It's too much of the e-drama, or it's some Twitch thought or whatever. I don't care about that so much. But there's other days that a video about it might be entertaining. I go to Tim Pool when there's an interesting topic, or if there's somebody that he had on an interview that I want to see. That's how most people consume their content. Once in a while, like I've supported the Daily Wire at one point. My wife loves watching Crowder. I've paid for memberships on YouTube for different creators. I've paid for Twitch subscriptions for people that I really like watching gameplay of. So that's I feel like I'm a very middle of the road. If I feel like I can contribute to something and I can afford it, I might toss a $5 here, or $10 here, or super chat here, or whatever. And that's, I think, where most people find themselves. And as such, most of these channels have an incredible amount of overlap, like insane amount of overlap. And what he does right here is he starts to lay the groundwork for where he'll eventually get to later in the video, where he says, and if you consume any of this man's content, go screw yourself. You're not for me. Unsubscribe and never come back. I mean, he really pulls one of these, the Frosk, if it's not for you, peace, don't watch our show, is where he eventually gets to.
YouTube, and I'll talk about what the YouTube space is and what the culture war is. The first thing I'll say is the New York Times just mentioned they have, what, 9.6 million paying subscribers, and it's quite incredible.
He's very long-winded
The
in this
Washington
video.
Post
It's really
and
kind of
everything
annoying.
they've done. Do you see what these organizations do? The Washington Post hired Taylor Lorenz because they know the game and they want to play it. I don't want to do that, and I'm not interested in doing it. I'll hire people that I believe in who are doing things that I think are good. But
Like
I'm not
Shane
interested in
Cashman.
pandering
We'll get to his
anybody for any reason.
Fluff article
And if
later on.
That means you will unfollow this channel, you will unsubscribe from my website, then you should have never signed up in the
All right,
first place.
that's number one.
I'm not going to cater to you. I'm not going to pander to you. I'm going to talk about what I think is important. I'm going to focus on issues that I think are important. And if you don't like it, I'm sorry. This channel's not for you.
Okay, I'll say that's 2. Although technically it's part of the same sentence, same monologue, but we'll say it's 2 times he told you it's not for you, go away. Before we continue on, let's go back here. Hang on. Why can't I? Oh, because I'm in my... Yeah. We'll pick up on this in a second. Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers pointed out, Timcast doesn't cover e-girl drama. Cringe video shows e-girl influencer dancing in Home Depot at AI thoughts will replace blah, 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 whatever. Okay? If that's not e-drama or like lowbrow commentating, I don't know what is. Right here. And I saw part of this one. So my brain instantly went back to this like, Tim, you are full of shit. Okay? Twitch streamer cries after getting caught watching deepfake adult videos. Now, what I find most frustrating about this, he himself will go on later in this video to say how Jeremy puts his name in the videos. In the title, Jeremy from the Quartering puts Tim Pool in the name of the video because he knows it'll draw clicks, right? It's clickbait. He's using Tim as clickbait. And he'll use deceptive thumbnails and he'll lie. What do you call this right here? Every one of Timcast's thumbnails has a verb or an action, some sort of like event in blood red, bright red, okay? That is supposed to catch your eye. There's a reason for that. It's a psychological cue. It's to draw your eye, your brain, to what they're trying to tell you, what they're trying to get you to do. They're trying to get you to click on the video. It's the exact same thing as the Quartering making some goofy video with some guy's eyes bugging out and big, bold, bright words. It's what all YouTubers do. You make an attractive thumbnail to get somebody to click on the video. And maybe the video is clickbait, maybe it's not, but you take that risk every time you click on a video. Tim wants to accuse other people of using these deceptive tactics. His own thumbnail editor does the exact same thing on every one of their videos. Every single one, whether it's talking about civil war or famine or a Twitch streamer. They use the exact same tools, exact same tactics. And for him to act like he doesn't get into e-drama is completely... he might take it from, oh, well, look at this Twitch streamer crying about an AI, blah, blah, blah. Now let's talk about civil war. Okay, fine. So you derail it to somewhere that may be more about news and politics. I get it. But you still use this as the thing to draw people in. I've caught Timcast videos, the little segments, like these 14-minute segments here, where he'll start off with one topic to get you to start watching, and then he'll, 5 minutes in, completely switch directions. And it's like, okay, well, I came for this topic, and now I'm going to listen to you talking to your guest about some completely unrelated thing for the next 10 minutes. And that's usually when I click to the next video. So, just something. Yeah, every single one, exactly. Why restaurants are all bright red colors. It's to get you to eat more, eat faster.
Especially with the swattings that we received, I can tell you outright, there is nothing glorious about being perceived
Let's go full
as
screen.
at the top. I certainly can empathize with Joe Rogan because I can only assume what he goes through.
Oh, he can empathize with Joe Rogan because he thinks that Joe Rogan's here, he's here, and everybody else is here.
You'll get my channels, you'll get the videos I put up, and then you'll start getting weird nonsense things. The Majority Report with Sam Cedar, 6 days ago, a channel that's absolutely obsessed with me. I don't know why. H. John Benjamin explains Tim Pool's Bob Burgers drama.
Hang on a second. I want to start a counter. I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way with pen and paper. So far, we have once he's told people, screw off, don't watch, I'm not for you. Okay, so that's one. One, piss off. Of course, I grabbed the one pen that's dead. Then we have, they're obsessed with me. think that's the first one he mentioned. So we got the counter going. We're one obsession, one screw off, unsubscribe. Thank God I don't drink. Not do a drinking game with this one.
I don't even know what you're talking about. So I think, you know, this is probably in reference to something Sam Cedar told me years ago, 10 years ago, that they were reducing his voice acting.
Yeah, nobody cares.
The Young Turks corrects Tim Pool's brain dead and racist take on Tyree Nichols. Racist and brain dead thing. But Sam Cedar likes to do something to trick their...
This is basically like Tim Pool or any other celebrity Googling themselves. If we do shot for shot, we could die. Exactly. I don't want to do that. I barely drink it as it is. For a lot of reasons, and I'm trying to remember because we're gonna get through it. I'm pretty sure he says that people are obsessed with him at least a half dozen times in this video, and I know there's at least 4 individual moments where he tells everyone, "Screw off, go screw yourself, unsubscribe from my channel, don't watch my videos," so on and so on.
Their audience. The Majority Report is notorious for this. The Young Turks takes quotes from me out of context.
Yeah, Tim, you're choking on your word salad there, buddy.
In order to generate traffic, much like Jeremy Hambley and Brittany Venti did.
Here we go.
And some other characters about what I said about the Eliza Blue story.
And some other characters. I mean, that sounds like as dehumanizing as you can possibly get. He doesn't say some other YouTubers. He doesn't say some other content creators. He doesn't say some other people. Oh, some other characters. Character is what you say when you don't want to call the person an asshole or a piece of garbage. Oh, that character over there. I'm like, dude, really?
Which I'll get into in a moment. Of course, eventually you'll find I have a song out. Look at that, 1.2 million views.
Nobody cares, Tim.
Actual justice warrior, shout out, apparently defending me, I guess. TYT smears Tim Pool. Here's someone calling me a scumbag. It's fine. Here's someone, umbrella guy, claiming Tim Pool
passive aggressive. I don't even watch that umbrella guy's content because it's not really, I don't know, I haven't like clicked. I'm subscribed to him, but like I paid more attention during the whole Johnny Depp thing. For Tim Pool to not even acknowledge his correct username. Oh, look, that umbrella guy is at 300,000 or 400,000 subscribers he's sitting on. To be like, umbrella guy. Dude, you're not even using his actual username. Like, I don't know. The amount of disrespect from Tim towards all these other people is insane.
Defends Eliza Blue. Here's Chrissy Mayer talking about me and whatever. The umbrella guy talking about me.
The umbrella guy.
Brittany Venti talking about me. Here's the quartering.
And in this whole thing, no mention that Brittany Venti was banned because of Eliza Blue. He never once even talks about the fact that people were censored, that she had connections to Elon, all this other stuff. Not a single mention of it. Okay.
Saying Tim Pool blasts his viewers on Timcast IRL. The quartering issues and what is it? Issues and apology and back to Eliza Blue. Tim Pool versus his fans. So
which is funny because I watched that video and the quartering did apologize. Clearly Tim didn't watch it.
To drama and things like that. You know, I see these videos all day, every day from the likes of the Young Turks where they just lie about me all the time. And there's they make videos about a bunch of people. Don't get me wrong, but let me see if I can scroll back to where they.
Young Turks is one that I can't even watch. It's so bad.
Women, which is like a ridiculous nonsense lie. It's just not true. It's Jeremy Hambley.
This is so much like when you have somebody Google themselves and then they just spend hours obsessing about it. Like, dude, we get it. You have a lot of detractors. You're also really popular. Like, this is something that everybody knows. Okay.
Quite the opposite. Said in my video that you have to treat men and women differently because they're different. Then, of course, we have everyone's favorite Jeremy Hambley. Jeremy Hambley made
everyone's favorite
endless video.
Dude, honest to God, like, I get it. He was pissed off because of Jeremy's thumbnails. He was pissed off because of the clickbaity, he was mad about the memes. He was mad about the Jack Murphy beanie, mad about the Jack Murphy beard. I get it, you know. But the funniest part is that he doesn't even try to hide the level of disrespect he has for these people. I didn't see that part. He believes Eliza's story is true. Well, okay, so that makes total sense because we'll get into Shane Cashman's part 2 of his so-called, investigative journalism.
Videos about me. I get it. They get traffic. You take a look at his Joe Rogan video. Jeremy Hambley makes a video about Joe Rogan and he gets 115,000 views. He makes a video about Tim Pool and he gets 232,000.
Gonna stop Tim right here also. Oh, is the cat meowing? Oh, cat's trying to get in where the kids are. I'm a nobody on YouTube. I had 100 subscribers, 130. I think I passed 100 like 2 days before New Year's, right? I made a video on Eliza Blue exposing the whole connection with Annie Donowald and Eve's Angels, something nobody else had really talked about. I gained almost 400 subscribers just from that video alone. Had nothing to do with Tim Pool. This is the first time I've ever mentioned Tim Pool online other than, oh yeah, I watch his videos. But for some weird reason, Tim thinks that everybody is like going after Eliza because they're obsessed with him. And I honest to God, this has something to do with Cassandra, with her relationship with Eliza's relationship with the guys from Timcast. There's a lot there that people don't know about. Oh yeah, thanks Leona. I retweeted that. I'm going to get into that in a minute after we get kind of done through Tim ranting and raving here.
We scroll down. Here's another video he makes about Tim Pool. He gets 243,000 views. He makes a video about Eliza Blue, 61,000.
Again, he thinks it's all about him. And again, yeah, there is going to be like drama clicks from the whole people that want to see a fight between the two of them. I get it. But like, my video hit 24,000 views in like 3 or 4 days. And it's been throttled ever since. My Eliza video, it hit 21,000 views in its first 48 hours. I couldn't believe the amount of interactions. Had like 1,500 likes. And I released a video today that was, in my opinion, a really well done video. I really liked what I put together. And it got 19 views in 8 hours. Now, I know the internet was kind of screwed up today, but it's like, you have to pick your topic, you have to pick your moment. And Tim thinking that it all has to do with him, he's got this weird narcissistic, like self-entitled, self-indulged, I don't know what it is.
This is what I'm talking about. Tim Pool blocks me, 317,000 views. I don't care. I'm talking about this only because I talk about what I care about talking about and what I think is important and what should be talked about.
Which we all do.
That's
normal.
If there is something that I think is impactful towards this world I think we'll address it.
Okay, hang on. I got to stop Tim right here. Let's go back. If there's something that I think is impactful to this world, I'm going to talk about it. Okay? What exactly is impactful about this right here? Twitch streamer cries after getting caught watching deepfake adult videos. A dude got caught streaming on Twitch because he was friends with Pokimane, and he got busted because he had a tab open with the deepfake of Pokimane getting railed. It was a deepfake video, AI video, obviously. But that right there is important for our culture to talk about. Some idiot on Twitch. Dude, the dude is like unhinged.
I think we will. Typically, I don't talk about me because most people who follow me don't know and don't care. But I'll give you an example of what this is. Did I attack my own fans? The answer is no, I didn't. Obviously, you're watching this. You're a fan. I never attacked you. Why is Jeremy Hambley lying on his channel? Just like the Young Turks, that's what people do. Their goal is just to make money, I guess. Now, of course, they'll accuse me of doing the same thing, but it's weird. I have no...
Hang on. They'll accuse me of doing the same thing. And once again, where he said earlier, well, that's fair. Right here, he goes, oh, they'll accuse me of doing the same thing. And he completely diverts to something else. So you're going to willingly admit that you do the exact same thing as them. But now you get to chastise them for doing it. He basically admits that he's doing it. But for some reason, it's okay because his is for a greater good. See, his is for a higher cause. He's going to change culture, and he's reporting hard-hitting news.
No problem telling people who are spamming my chat to screw off. I don't care and I don't want your money.
Okay, that's 2. So far, we've got 2 screw-offs.
And then apparently they cancel their subscriptions, but I'm the person who wants money. I don't. I really don't. So let this be a more personal, let me address my goals and missions and what I think about all of this. I blocked Jeremy Hambley. Why? Because Jeremy Hambley is the rights or the anti-establishment version of the Young Turks. I never attacked my fans. On Timcast IRL in the super chat section, as people were asking me questions about Eliza Blue, I pointed out, I'm not going to disavow someone I don't care about. Someone who'd been on the show 2 times out of 710 episodes.
Pretty sure if everyone here is kind of caught up on this, I could go back and find the clip, but there's no real reason to. When he did that, when he did the after hours segment where he told the guy, go fuck yourself, I'm not disavowing anybody, she's not important, I've had her on the show 2 times, you can take your money, goodbye, don't let the door hit you in the ass, whatever. First off, I want to know if he gave that guy a refund. Did he keep his $20 or his $10? I mean, since it's not about money, did he actually go on and issue the guy a refund for his super chat? Probably not. Okay. And secondly, he is over here. Hang on a second. I gotta get my thoughts in order. The reason that happened in the first place is only due to the fact that Tim, just like Jack Murphy, when the whole Jack Murphy scandal happened, Tim is more than happy to sit there and ignore the chat until it gets to the point where he gets angry and has to address it. Meanwhile, taking money and ignoring the super chats and just flat out saying, he doesn't even say, okay, guys, well, here's the deal. Eliza, there's this thing going on. I don't want to talk about it. That's not really for me, you know? Timcast. Hey, Richie. It would be different if he would take one super chat and say, okay, well, here's the deal. I'm not going to talk about Eliza. It's something that has nothing to do with us. I'm not going to say anything further on that, so please don't super chat us. To my knowledge, does anybody have a clip of him doing that? Or is it just like Jack Murphy, where they were continuing to send the super chats, he continued to cash the checks, and never once addressed it? Never once said, guys, I'm not going to read these, guys. I'm not going to talk about it. I could be wrong. I don't pay for Timcast. I don't see the After Hours show because I just don't care. Like I said, I casually consume Tim's content. I probably won't anymore because he told me to go fuck myself.
2, really don't care about Eliza Blue. We book a lot of people. We booked the Krasensteins. We've booked...
I don't know who the Krasensteins are.
We've booked people who are on the left, and I certainly would say are more grifterish than she. But for some reason, these people care all so much about it. Well, it's fake. When Jeremy makes...
Habana from Siege. So he says, for some reason, people care about her. I don't know. It's all fake. They care about her because she is in a position to affect censorship policies at Twitter, at the very head of trust and safety, and is trying to get people banned for asking questions and has succeeded doing so. I got suspended. Brittany Venti is still suspended. There are dozens of accounts that I interacted with that were all suspended because of asking questions or sharing clips of public videos. Okay. And he wants to play it off as, oh, well, you know, it's just a nothing burger. These people are just mad over Eliza, who's a nobody.
Makes videos about Joe Rogan, he gets less views than he makes videos about me. That's why he does it. I don't like it.
Okay, hang on. We're gonna chalk that up to him saying that Jeremy's either obsessed with him or grifting. So we'll say we're 2 for 2 now. The after show was stupid but enlightening. Oh, I'm sure it was.
Can't stand it. And you know what? Hopefully, making this video will make these people stop following me. I will make less money, and I will be less relevant to all of these people because I will say it, and I will say it proudly. I never wanted to be famous. I don't care about being famous. I don't care about being rich. I don't want your money. There are ideas that I care about, and if I care about them enough, I will talk about them. So by all means, keep making up your trash garbage and misrepresenting who I am and what I believe, Jeremy Hambly or the Young Turks. You're all the same as far as I'm concerned.
All right, so that's the funny thing. I mean, he does this multiple times in the video. He's like, I never cared about money. I never cared about fame. I didn't want to be famous. Dude, you literally didn't even have to put your face out there. You could have been like that dream dude that's been behind a mask for all these years before he finally took the mask off. Okay, look, the reason I started doing scripted videos was because I thought I could put better, quality videos together if I took more time and actually put my thoughts down on like my phone and actually typed it all out. And B, because I don't find myself that interesting. And so I'm like, okay, if I can at least make the video not about me, but about the subject and make the subject worth listening to, that might make a better video. And I've had a few videos that did really well. I've had a bunch that have tanked. But it's like, for me, I don't think that I need to put myself out there as the person like, oh, well, the quartering or, the Timcast or this. I don't want it to be about me. I want it to be about the subject. If the channel grows because of that, great, because obviously I'm the one that benefits. I'm the person behind the channel. But Tim, your show is literally called Timcast, okay? You have a host, a panel of regular and revolving hosts, but the show is called Timcast. And somehow you say you didn't want to be famous. You keep expanding, you keep adding businesses. Now you're doing music, and you have a skate park, and oh yeah, we're going to do all this stuff and change the culture. But it's not about me. I just want to go and live in a cabin in the woods. Then take your gigantic bank account and go build the biggest freaking cabin in the woods and go be happy. Because clearly he's not happy. He blinked a lot with the mention of money. Oh, Richie, the quartering is on his way to being blackout drunk right now. Like I casually consume both their content. For me, I owe the quartering one thing, and that's when during 2020, when everything went crazy, I never really went on YouTube to consume content. I went to YouTube at like every other boomer. It was to figure out how to fix my broken Xbox, or how to figure out how to take this thing apart or put this thing together. So for me, the quartering was the first like social commentary type channel that I stumbled across. And from there, I started watching all these other people like Tim Pool, like, I just, Razor Fist and Yellow Flash and all these other people, the Lotus Eaters, Carl Benjamin, all of them. That was something that came later. So for me, it's more like the quartering is just like one of the first channels I started watching back in 2020. And then that kind of gave me the idea, well, I've been streaming on Twitch. Maybe I start streaming on YouTube. I don't know. Like I said, I told you earlier, Richie, Twitch for me is dead right now. I still love playing games. Maybe if I can build up my audience on YouTube, I can do more games on YouTube, run live streams. I've switched all of my stuff. All of my moderation is set up for YouTube now instead of Twitch. I'm kind of done with Twitch for the most part. It's still there, but I'm just not using it. Last time was when he was flipping out about the CEO vote for Elon Musk. Yeah, he said himself that was a really low moment for him. I didn't even watch the video. Because he released that video at like 7 o'clock my time. So he must have recorded it like after his day was done, went back downstairs or upstairs and recorded it. And I'm like, dude, literally, I'm not going to watch this. Like, I like Elon for the memes. I like Elon because he pissed off a lot of people. I don't trust Elon as far as I can throw him. I don't like him as a person. Elon is just another billionaire. Could he do some good things? Sure. He could also do some really evil things. I don't put it past him to do either way. Anyways, but yeah, the amount of disdain, I'm telling you, Tim Pool, the one time he had the quartering on, he probably was like regretting it the entire time, because the amount of disdain that he voices already for Britney and the quartering and that umbrella guy and Chrissy Mayer in this video, before he even really gets going, you can just feel it like oozing out of him. You watched RTU cover it? Okay.
I'll tell you what I said. On my show, I said, I believed Eliza Blue is trying to be famous. And there is a PR firm that we know of that the belief I have, based on what I've seen, is they create about 50 fake accounts. They get about
This is also not what he said. This is not what he said.
To each make about 5 accounts and run them. It's very, very easy to do. And you can watch videos of this where they have cell phones all over the walls. They then will go onto channels and spam the comments and say, cover this story and talk about this thing, in an effort to get prominent personalities to talk about it. And it works. Now, not only do you have Jeremy Hambley with 1.47 million followers making up videos.
You know that has to burn his ass a little bit, because Jeremy's ahead of him. He's got about 300,000 more subscribers on YouTube. Tim does, and I think Tim lost 20 or 30,000 today.
Where he says Tim Pool blasts his viewers, when I quite literally said, these people are clearly not fans. We've gained members at timcast.com. There's no basis.
He was behind the paywall.
It's just the
so
same Young Turks garbage.
How you define a fan
I've
is
been complaining about for months as they make up fake things about me. It's the same thing I complain about with Sam Cedar, who makes up fake things about me. It's the same thing I complained about with Hassan Piker, a prominent leftist personality who, even when I defend him, finds reason to criticize my agreements with him, going so far as to, when I said we shouldn't be spending money on wars overseas, like Ukraine, he then says, he laughs, says I'm wrong, and then says the military-industrial complex is the problem, which is funny because it's like, my guy, we completely agreed. You've not provided a justification for the $100 billion.
That was one that I saw got really downvoted, like really hard on Tim. Was the whole, when he agreed with Hassan. Now, again, I think there was some nuance there. He said, yeah, I don't want to be funding the war in Ukraine if we're going to spend the money anyways. Why can't we take that same $80 billion and cure all these people's vision? I mean, I can't disagree with that. I don't want to be spending the money on any of it. But if the money's already going to get spent, use it for good instead of for a war. Oh yeah, Invictus, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I've got that queued up, ready to go.
$1 we spent in Ukraine.
It's so creepy. It's
that's all it is. And there are a lot of people who really want that.
I don't want to linger too long on this. I just kind of want to get through the most important pieces of this.
From me. I don't care. I think there's a lot of really messed up things happening in this world. And I'm not convinced that we're headed in a positive direction that's going to be able to solve these things, because this is what people really want. 300. What do we have? Here we go. Tim Pool blasted for article. An article I didn't write. Shane Cashman wrote it. He works here. But
yeah,
he puts
Shane.
my name in the video because I guess people...
He puts your name in the video because it's from Timcast News.
Tim
Timcast.
Pool blocks me.
Oh, did he say obsessed? Yeah. Okay, so that's 3 obsessions now. And he's alluded to it numerous other times that people are obsessed with him. Okay.
317,000 views. And they attacked me for doing it. There's literally nothing you can do in this space. Jeremy Hambly, the Young Turks, Sam Cedar, they're not the only ones. The crew, Brittany Venti. I mean, these channels, I don't care for. They don't talk about things that are going to change the way you buy food.
Okay, so right here, this is where he started to piss me off. Like earlier, I was kind of consuming it going, okay, I'm just going to listen to see his side of it, right? I think the very ending of part 2 sounds like Tim's writing. It's something else. So Tim is my age. He's a couple months older than me, okay? And again, this is my same issue with Andrew Tate. And no, Andrew Tate and Tim Pool are nothing alike other than they don't practice what they preach. So you got the Andrew Tates who are telling men how to live, and he's telling the man the ideal way to find a woman, but he's not settled down. He doesn't have kids. He's running hookers. He's running webcams in casinos. He's not living this like really ethical, moral life, in my opinion. And again, you can like Andrew Tate. I don't care. That doesn't bother me. But in my opinion, he's not practicing what he preaches, and neither is Tim. Tim is over here saying how I'm going to teach you, we're going to re-educate people on how to live these good, hard-working lives and change the culture. Tim, you're 37. As far as I know, he's not married. He doesn't have kids. He's turning 37 in a month, okay? I'm over here. I'm married. I got 3 kids. I'm working a regular job. My wife works from home. We homeschool. We're doing all the things that Tim and Styx Hexenhammer, and who actually, Styx Hexenhammer is actually married and has a baby now, so... As crazy as it is, when you look at the two of them, Styx has actually probably got his shit together more than Tim does. And you got these other guys online. I don't know if anybody in Tim's circle between, I know Ian's not married. His regular guests, I don't know if any of them are married. Because he works himself to death. Well, then maybe it's time for him to stop. He goes on later to say, oh, I know he has a girlfriend. He says he's had a girlfriend or fiance for a long time.
Raise your kids. They're not going to solve the problem.
Tim, you're not going to help me raise my kids. I'm not asking you for your help.
They're not going to help you understand why criminals are being let out of jails.
We all know why it's politicians.
That really, really wants this. Absolutely.
That wouldn't shock me, Invictus.
Don't follow me if that's you.
Okay, hang on. Don't follow me. So we're 3 for 3. 3 at least times that he's alluded to or said people are obsessed with him, and 3 times he told people not to follow him. So we're...
know how to solve this stuff.
3 and 3.
But I'll tell you some stuff externally outside of all of this as to why I'm done with it. I'm completely done with it. Cancel your subscriptions at timcast.com if this is what you want.
That's 4.
I never wanted your money in the first place. I asked for your memberships at timcast.com because we want to open a coffee shop. We want to open a coffee shop. The contractors are there. They're planning it because we want people to be able to come to a place to share ideas, to resist what I view as the corruption of what was once a great country.
Okay.
Degradation.
So I'm not gonna disagree with corruption, degradation, a lack of morals, lack of ethics, lack of all this stuff. But Tim, all these things you're saying these people do, look at this. This is your show. These are things you focus on. Everybody has things like this. The Quartering talks about e-girls and OnlyFans chicks and e-thoughts and all this stuff, but then he also talks about censorship. He also talks about tech stuff. You know, Yellow Flash talks about comic books. Yellow Flash talks about Marvel movies. But then sometimes he covers things like Eliza. He covers things that actually have significance to people in a certain group. Things that are more like actual news or politics. Look, I started this channel thinking I was going to be talking about video games, okay? I never planned to be talking about this stuff. Jeremy would be a coffee partner with Tim. Well, I mean, okay, let's be fair. Jeremy's not making his own coffee. He's buying it and having it private labeled, okay? But he's buying it from a company that's probably better than Starbucks. I hate Starbucks. But Jeremy's coffee company is what's probably a private label, which I work, my mom and I, it's her business, but I've been helping her run it since I was a kid. We own a gourmet foods company. We do like olive oil and balsamic vinegar and stuff. We have a few stores we sell to that private label our stuff, that we print labels with their name on it. Okay, it doesn't mean it's not good product. It just... Tim's not going to be grinding his own coffee beans, and neither is Jeremy. They have somebody else doing it for him, you know? with AI deepfakes as a whole. Sure, and I can respect that. But Richie, my point is, this is what they use to bring people in. They use this to get people to actually watch the video, but then they go talk about something else. It's no different. It is deceit. It is clickbait. It's exactly the same thing he's accusing other people of doing. Wanted to be some kind of weird partner with Jeremy. Tim did 40 minutes on TikTok twerking. Oh, God. Yeah, he wants to have a coffee house, and I get it. That's his thing is like the skate park, the culture, all that.
What I don't care for is grifters, outright grifters. They'll accuse me of all of that stuff. Fine, that's fine. But I'll tell you this right now, I'd have no problem.
3 times, he said they're grifting, they're scummy, they're slimy, they use these tactics. They'd accuse me of it. Fine, whatever. He doesn't rebut it. Okay. A Starbucks Republican-style coffee house. At least the quartering with the coffee brand coffee thing, he's not claiming to be like, he's not trying to do like the whole what Black Rifle did, where it's like, yeah, we're gonna own the libs, and then turns out they are the libs, you know? That's one thing I'll say I respect. It is literally just coffee. Oh no, Tim, no way. He sees Jeremy as some kind of personal betrayal or something. Maybe that's it. I don't know.
As I always say, hopping in my van and going down by the river and just living it and giving everything up. In fact, it'd probably be a whole lot easier. So I would appreciate it if people who followed Sam Cedar,
here you go,
Young Turks, Hassan, and the quartering weren't following my channel.
Okay. So what do I do now? You guys tell me. Because I don't care. I watch Tim Pool. I don't watch Tim Pool IRL, Timcast IRL. I watch his Timcast monologue in the afternoon occasionally. It's a nice 30-minute way to like put my headphones on at work and kind of kill some time. And he'll usually talk about something that's relevant to the world. Sometimes it's just Civil War shit. But put yourself in my shoes, because a lot of you guys are. Do I unsubscribe from Timcast now? Do I never watch him again? Because he literally just described me right here. Okay? And no, I don't watch Sam Cedar. I don't watch any of these other guys. But what do I do?
They'll accuse me of all of that stuff. Fine, that's fine. But I'll tell you this right now. I'd have no problem, as I always say, hopping in my van and going down by the river and just living it and giving everything up. In fact, it'd probably be a whole lot easier. So I would appreciate it if people who followed Sam Cedar, the Young
for
Turks,
sure,
Hassan,
Invictus, for sure,
and the quartering weren't following my channel. Because I think this is the kind of lowbrow garbage that doesn't actually solve any problems.
So, okay, if I follow the quartering, all I like is lowbrow garbage. And yeah, he has lowbrow garbage on there. But that's not everything he does. But now Tim is the one that accuses everyone else of being tribalists. He says, tribalism's bad. Oh, you can't have far right and you can't have far left. You got to be in the middle, just like me. But if you watch that guy's content, you're not welcome here. I mean, I almost wish Tim would actually see this video somehow. I know he won't. I've got 500 subscribers, and I love every one of you guys. You know, I had a really bad day because the internet was screwed up, apparently. I released my video. It got 19 views in 8 hours, and I'm like, I'm going to re-release it tomorrow because that was really mentally like a beat down after my last video. But that being said, I know that he'll never see this. But the reality is, what about somebody like me, Tim? What about us that just like to get through our workday like a normal human being? We enjoy different pieces of different people's content. Now I'm getting told to fuck off. Lying so hard about this whole situation? 100%, yeah. Now you have to question anything he says. Well, I mean, question everybody at this point. Look, the one thing that this whole Eliza thing started, and I saw Quarter Black Garrett tweet it, was basically like, everything sucks now, you can't trust anybody. I'm like, yeah, basically you can't. Left does all the time, we know what's best for you, we're more moral than you. Tim was a Vice reporter, correct? He worked for Vice, if I'm not mistaken, and Vice is one of those left-leaning outlets. And this is that kind of mentality that he's employing right here.
Tim Pool attacks his fans. Literally didn't do it. It's not relevant. It has nothing to do with anything. Why talk about this stuff? I get it. Some people like it. Okay.
Why talk about it? Because
I'll tell you about
people got censored on Twitter.
And why I'm so ready to be at this point. And the level of obsession with me that I have to deal with it's not worth it. It's not at all. And
Oh,
that's why I
100%
say I empathize with
JJ.
Joe Rogan.
Totally
Like,
agree.
man, like even I talk about Joe Rogan. I did a segment about
Even I talk about Joe Rogan. Think about that. Dude, Tim has his little beanie covered head up on this fucking pedestal so high that he's just like, well, look, Joe Rogan's a god, but even I talk about Joe Rogan, and I'm next to godliness here. Tim really thinks that everybody else on the internet is scum. Honest to God, that's where he's at. He believes that everybody else who makes content out there is just a piece of trash, and that he's the only person with hard-hitting journalism, and he's actually out there doing the Lord's work. Holy shit.
about him because he's in the news. And I think about it like, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I just literally shouldn't talk about stuff like this.
Yeah.
And we've done a lot of segments about Joe.
Look, okay, so this video that I did on Annie Donowald, where most of you guys came from, thank you again for subscribing. That video just was like, it was an ass kicker. I did that because I looked into somebody shared the Donowald v. Donowald thing. I looked into it. I'm like, holy shit, look at this woman. And I kind of dug into her and I was like, wow, this person's a complete fraud, right? And this is the person propping up Eliza. And then Shane Cashman in part 2 references Annie Donowald with nothing more than, oh, and she was the one that Eliza reached out to. No journalism whatsoever. No, at least nothing investigative. Unsub to Tim. Yeah, Slick Willie, I'm probably going to do that, to be honest. In fact,
as I've tried to explain,
once we get done tonight, I will.
It's the biggest podcast in the world, and we're all in this space. So when they come after him, when they criticize him, we talk about that. We either provide defense or some context.
So Joe Rogan gets talked about or attacked, and we can defend him because he's worth talking about. But Brittany Venti, because she only has 170,000 subscribers, she's not worth defending.
Threats. We've had the studio evacuated. I've had people threaten my life, and then I have to deal with the likes of Jeremy Hambley making videos saying, assassination attempt on Tim Pool, just like. Okay,
so Tim Pool, every time that he responds to being swatted, anytime that he's put it out there on Twitter, anytime he's been like, oh, we got swatted again, he's not acknowledging that that's an attempt to get somebody hurt, shot, killed, whatever by the police. Because that's what that is. Swatting is an attempt to get somebody injured, hurt, or fearful for their life by using, possible deadly force by having the police show up. So Jeremy says Tim Pool got swatted. It was an assassination attempt, and that's a lie. I'm really confused. He might gain lefty supporters after this. I don't know. Hassan might gain some right-wing supporters. I know that's probably not going to happen. This whole Hogwarts Legacy thing, though, is cracking me up. Hassan's like, please, I want to play the game. Stop bullying me. I want to play the game. It's like, dude, just play the fucking game. Nobody cares. Yeah, JJ, the whole basement bro vibes is why my wife has a hard time watching the quartering. She doesn't get much time during the day to watch videos. She watches, like, whatever she wants to watch at night when she's working. She has an Etsy shop. She does stuff at home, but we're both going nonstop, like, till the kids are in bed, and then it's like I have like an hour or two to just kind of sit and do whatever I need to get done. But she said the same thing about the quartering being a little too much basement dweller when he lets himself go with the beard and all that. Moderate left, maybe that I could see that.
Like
that's a possibility.
And stuff like that, shock bait, garbage content, and I'm just like, I really don't want to be involved in this. I really don't want to be. Here, let me explain to you why.
So cash in. Get out.
Imagine you have someone show up to your house and they break in, and you can't actually do anything about it. There's no calling the police. You can't. And the police can do something, but then they attack you. They use whatever leverage they can against you, and they make up fake lies in the media to try and destroy your life.
Hang on, Invictus, I didn't catch that before. It's 23,000 downvotes to 20,000 upvotes too. So I typically watch most of this stuff on BitChute because there's no commercials. And honest to God, every video that Timcast releases on BitChute, BitChute guys, if you ever go on there, I know some of you might be the ones commenting. It's okay if you are. But like the comments are like, holy shit, I can't believe somebody just said that, right? Like the most crazy, insane shit on there. But he never has a video on BitChute anymore that gets more upvotes than downvotes. After the whole Kanye thing, which I honestly wasn't that bothered by the way he handled Kanye. Looking back now, maybe I could have handled it differently. But like, it gets destroyed on BitChute.
So what do? How do you deal with stalkers? How do you
No
deal
way, he
with
can't just
harassment?
retire,
How do you
exactly.
deal with obsessed people? How do you deal with people who used to be your friends who make up lies about
There
you
is
all
no
the time?
middle.
And I'm not
There
talking
really
about
isn't.
Jeremy. I don't consider this guy to have ever been my friend. He makes videos about
Hassan's
me
kind of funny,
insults me, and
stupid.
then acts like he was my friend
Yeah.
the whole time.
Kind of
But
funny,
we were
stupid.
friendly and cordial. But seriously, this guy would just, I mean, he sends me a veiled threat. He posts smack talk about.
Oh, the veiled threat. Yeah. So the quartering. Here's the funniest thing. Tim doesn't watch the quartering's content. Now, fair enough. I've discovered something. Here's the funniest thing. And I am not a YouTuber. I'm a guy that's made a few YouTube videos, and some of them have had a little bit of success, okay? I'd love to be considered a YouTuber. Hasn't happened yet. But he doesn't watch the quartering's content. As I make more videos, I find myself watching less videos in the course of the day. So I don't blame Tim for not watching every video the quartering makes. But if you're going to talk about specifics, you should do your research. The reason I watched this video earlier, and now I'm forcing myself to go through it again. So if he's going to criticize somebody, he needs to have his facts straight, right? The quartering never threatened him. He said, I hope he gets down to the bottom of this, or I hope he gets her an explanation out of her or something. And Tim has been like, oh, he threatened me. He threatened that my guy better get the job done or whatever. It's like, what the fuck is that? A threat is, hey, if you don't do this, I'm going to come break your ankles. That's a threat. He needs his legions of fans to feel good about himself. Yeah. Let's see. Hassan be like, 9/11 should have happened. I mean, we deserve it. Well, certain people maybe, but
he expects me to be his friend.
I don't think I deserve
No,
it.
I'm not interested in any of this. I'm not interested in being a leader to you. I'm not interested in being a leader to anybody. I'm not interested in being in Congress, being in politics. I'm barely interested in running a company.
Then why are you starting more companies,
who
Tim?
sees problems and tries to talk about them, and is far from perfect, and tries to be as honest as possible. As times change and new information comes in, my opinions probably do as well. I don't like hiding information from people. I think people should just know what's going on.
We're 26 minutes in, and he's
this,
never
all the
mentioned the
drama is
reason
that
this all
I just
happened.
Walk away and say, I never wanted to be in this position. I'd be happier for it. The challenge is, and the reality is, there are millions of people who do follow me and who do ask me to keep doing this. I tried quitting this job outright in, I think it was 2019. You can look up the video where I outright said, that's it, I'm done.
It'd be nice to see Hassan grow up.
And I got
not gonna lie,
slammed with so many emails, so many messages. They said, please don't stop. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll keep going.
Okay, Tim, basically this is people being obsessed with him positively here, though. It's like, oh, they still want me to keep going, so I'll keep doing it.
I'll explain you, man. I hope you understand. Some things you need to understand when it comes to a job like this. Every day I see the likes of AOC, Sam Cedar, the Young Turks, Jeremy Hambley, making up weird grifter garbage nonsense to try and attract new fans. And I'm just like, I don't care. I'm hoping that we can talk about egg short.
I mean, here's the thing, too, that Tim has never said. He's addressed the whole, Eliza's only been on the show twice, she's a nobody, what does this matter, it's not worth my time. If she's a nobody, what the fuck was she doing on your show, Tim? You're up here. You don't do the bottom basement dweller gutter feeding garbage. You don't do clickbait. You're up here. We're all down here. Why was Eliza on your show? Eliza 100% has dirt on Tim. It goes back to this video that we're going to get to on Twitter, I think. There's a side to Tim where he desperately wants to talk about Eliza Blue, but there's a lot of stuff scaring him, and that's 100% it. Somebody's too good and he knows it. Yeah, Leona, that's probably right. He can't quit because of ego. Yeah, it could be ego. It wasn't a mob then. Comes across as very narcissistic and bruised ego. And why are you doing an article on a nobody? My wife asked that same question when she was skimming through it. We were having dinner and she's skimming through it like, oh my God. She was like, she wanted to throw up reading it. It was so bad.
Shortages, and stuff like that. Or the potential for cyber attacks, or as I often do, the prospect of civil war.
Yes, Tim, civil war.
This job, my phone.
He has civil war tattooed across his chest.
For money. People are asking me for jobs. My email won't stop ringing. I get 500 to 1,000 emails per day that
Tim,
I have to just throw in the
you
garbage.
pay somebody to check your emails. That's bullshit.
Like, I need this from you. I want this from you. Why won't you have me on your show? I get people making up lies about why I.
All right, this is another people obsessed with him.
Booked for my show, and then instead of coming on my show, he goes on some other show and then insults me. Then he goes on his.
All right, so that's another lie. Again, another lie. Jeremy was supposed to go on the show. He never confirmed it. They had the slot set aside for him to go on there. Okay, he said this many times. The two of them had discourse about this. Yep, according to he's like, my bad. I was supposed to get back to Cassandra, let her know for sure it was good to go. I didn't do it, so they replaced me with somebody else. But here he is going, oh, he was booked to be on the show and then he ditched us. He flaked out. It wasn't the day of the show and he didn't show up. Tim's the definition of humble brag. 100%. Very, very spot on, American capitalist. He says the article is 80,000, but the article released part 1 and part 2 is only 40,000. There's another article that has the opposite take that he was about to post. At this point, Tim is almost trying to convince himself with these lies. I feel like there's... He's living in delusion.
And tells everybody that I insulted them, called them bots, and it's just not true.
You did call us bots, Tim.
So why would I want to be involved in a world like this?
You said the only reason Eliza was training was because PR bots. I didn't get paid.
That's the only reason I do it. But I'll tell you, to have people who were once some of
oh no, he won't lose it. NewsGuard likes him too much.
A friend of
There's
mine
no way.
When I was a teenager, I used to skate with every day. Decides one day that his path towards acknowledgement is to make up.
Man, I was gonna skip through this, but there's just too much. There's way too much.
Happens more than you can realize. They come out and they say, one time Tim Pool did this thing, and they're like, well, that's Tim Pool's friend. That must prove it. And I'm like, why are you lying about me, bro? This stuff happens all the time.
I've heard that anecdote. My God.
Go into my Discord server.
Oh my God.
Screen grab and download the entire archives, and then cherry pick me quoting other articles to lie about me in public. This is the disgusting, slime-filled underbelly that is humanity. And
he's above this.
Man, it is a black pill, indeed. Because I often talk about what I really want. What do I want? I don't know. I like what Elon Musk is doing, Starship, going to Mars. I think about how do we get people to Mars? Who'd be willing to do it? You would need couples. People.
How did he get to this point? Juicy content? What other stories he do with this with? I have no idea, Johnny. I have no clue. If they fact check this video, NewsGuard is going to have an issue with all these easily verifiable lies. But doesn't NewsGuard tend to lean left? I don't know who runs NewsGuard. I know it's an independent, technically kind of like an independent thing. I don't know. See, here's the funny thing, guys. I wasn't going to do another Eliza video. I was thinking that the whole Eliza thing wrapped up on its own for the most part. But then they keep having these articles come out, and then you got Tim doing this shit. I was like, okay, do I do a video I really want to do something on, like the whole the birthing pod baby thing, which is, I'm going to re-release that video tomorrow. I took it down. Or do I do Eliza Blue? And here I am with something where it personally affects me because I've got this asshole sitting in front of me who I've never given a dime to Tim, but I've watched his videos. He's gotten ad revenue from my view. I have been a subscriber, and I have paid attention enough to think that I knew basically who this guy was, and maybe not in depth personally, but to at least respect his opinion on certain things. And then he says, hey, go fuck yourself if you watch these other guys. Which are you? You're watching me twice. Why the hell are you do? Oh, because on PS5 and texting. I gotcha. All I hear from Tim is I, me. Lots of playing both sides. 100%. They screwed over MSNBC though, huh? Well, maybe they're not quite so left-leaning. Oh, the layers to Eliza, and I feel like it's going to get worse. I feel like it's just going to, it's like an onion that just won't stop. Like there's more and more layers.
With any of it. What we end up getting is rage-filled garbage.
Right, so he gets the comparison to the Harry Potter cancellation thing, and now people are trying to cancel him.
Mad at right now.
Yeah.
It's just this insane obsession with me.
Obsession. Oh,
I'm wondering why it is.
I almost missed one.
Coming out. Former employees and family members and friends of Joe Rogan and making up lies about him, but they do about me.
It does kind of have Epstein vibes on it, doesn't it, Leona?
I genuinely do not understand. But it is kind of refreshing to see the rage.
Okay, so Invictus, apparently he claims in this video, I think it's towards the end, that Scroats McGoats wasn't actually the person that did it. Scroats McGoats was, I'm guessing it's that guy because it's what he referenced was when he told somebody to get the fuck out. He said it was a longtime member that was impersonated by somebody else who sent the super chat. So I don't think it was the real Scroats McGoats, according to Tim. I think he made the whole thing up, to be honest. I think it was a member that told him, talk about Eliza or I'm gone. People keep saying Eliza has ties to at least one former FBI person. There's verifiable connection between her and Ella Irwin, who is the VP or assistant head of safety. I don't think she's the actual top head of safety, but she does have connections to her, Elegy Irwin, on Twitter. Beyond that, the whole FBI thing, I have no idea. I can't verify that personally. I haven't dug into it yet. Maybe I'll look into that. Yep, capitalist, you're the third or fourth person to bring it up. We're going to get into that as soon as Tim shuts up here.
Drama crybabies.
I think it's a Russian bot.
Constantly attacking me to see that, oh, heavens me, I've lost a couple thousand subscribers on this channel. Dude, I don't want any of this. I don't care for it. I don't want you to obsess over me every day.
Obsess?
I don't need you to like me. I'm just going to talk about what I feel like talking about. And in this regard, it's something important.
And if it was this, that'd be fine.
On from me a little bit and talk about what
that'd be fine.
Culture.
Hey, it's not something we want to talk about.
Called Harry Potter. I'm sorry, Hogwarts Legacy. It's a Harry Potter.
But to deny the fact that the entire story isn't about something bigger than, oh, these people just have e-drama. Literally, you have censorship with your boy Elon at the top of Twitter, putting people back in place at Twitter that are doing the same shit that Yoel Roth and Vijaya Gotti did before. Isn't there still an FBI person at Twitter? So Jim Baker? Jim Baker was the guy that had been working for the FBI who got hired to be at Twitter, and then they fired him. I don't know if there's a current FBI connection there or not. I have no idea, to be honest.
Potter video game. It's the way out, and they emailed saying it wasn't them. They're doubling down.
This is the guy. Okay, hang on.
I don't want to be involved.
Hang on. This is him, totally not lying.
I'm not here to give you what you want. Here's another funny one. We got an email from one of our longstanding members. What they're doing now...
Well, she doesn't run a fake charity because there's no charity at all, so...
impersonating our members on Timcast.
This is great.
Right. I fell for it. One of our members, an individual, made a fake account pretending to be one of our biggest fans and members, and then I said, if this is how you feel, then screw off and don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. And they emailed saying it wasn't them. They're doubling down their membership, and they don't want to be involved.
Not only was it not them, but they're paying twice as much now, just because they love Tim that much.
The only problem I had was that PSN went down, so I couldn't play the video game.
Oh, poor Tim. I'm sure you can't afford a gaming computer.
That wizard game. Find out if anyone...
Yeah, I know.
I don't deserve anything from you. I don't care to be...
Hang on, this gets a little bit juicier towards the end.
Because I don't deserve anything from you. I don't care.
This is another piss off right here.
I've always been content with where I am and what I'm doing. I'm grateful that I've come to this point where people have...
So technically on the live stream with Hotep Jesus, she said, "No, give it to your girl. I need to pay for internet. I need this and that." So technically she didn't say give me donations in the name of a charity. She said, I have this charity here. So I haven't seen a video of Eliza saying, if you give me money, it'll go to a charity. So that's probably that loophole here. Is maybe it was implied, but I don't know if she ever actually said it out loud. But beyond that, the IRS probably can't do anything, because if she can say, I have a 500-acre farm that I have a charity house on, and she can lie through her teeth, and that's fine. As long as she didn't set up a shell, fake nonprofit where she's taking money, which there's no nonprofit set up in her name through Eliza on this property. Okay, so there's no nonprofit. So there's no tax fraud, because the nonprofit doesn't exist, so it can't take donations. The only fraud would come in if she actually gets money from people in the name of a charity that doesn't exist, or if it's implied that it'll go to charity. That's where the fraud would come in. So she claims she has no money, so I don't think she's getting donations, right? She's at so the Tesla talk one, I don't know. If you could find the video, that'd be awesome, because I remember seeing her do the whole thing with Tesla, but she had Tesla logos shaved into the side of her head. God. Is there anybody who's ever tried to suck someone's dick more than Eliza? I swear to God. If she could find Elon right now and do it to him, she would. It's crazy.
Supported me to such a degree where I have certain luxuries, many don't. I'm grateful that people love it.
Yeah, Tim, some of us live paycheck to paycheck, buddy.
But I don't care for the drama. I don't care for pretending to be outraged at someone because they're in the wrong tribe. When Hassan Piker came out and said that he thought it was enraging that Mr. Beast had to give these surgeries to people to fix their eyes, and that...
Yeah, we know this story, Tim.
Blah, and they made it tribal.
But Tim didn't make anything tribal.
No, I'm not here to play those games. I'm not here to pander to anybody, and I'm not going to be pressured by anybody for any reason, quite literally. You can message me and say you're my biggest fan and you've been a fan for 3 years.
She did have a GoFundMe for her vacation, yes.
Talk about low-tier, inconsequential e-drama. So ask yourself this, as it pertains to all of this drama. In what way would
How many times can you say drama? How many times has he said drama?
Bettered someone's life? It wouldn't. There's literally.
So the Jack Murphy thing, I would say from a business perspective, and this is where maybe Tim is right. Maybe he's not cut out to be a business owner. Isn't it funny how every girl she knows is a grifter too? 100%. So where Tim has got his head so far up his ass he can't see, because that beanie is probably like where his rectum is. That beanie is the sphincter that his head is shoving itself into. He runs a business. Like it or not, it's still a business, right? It's a corporation. He pays taxes. He pays his employees. He pays people to be, work for him, do his website, his investigative journalism, all that stuff, right? So when you have people on your show regularly like Jack Murphy, not like Eliza. Eliza was only on there twice, right? They nuked the Quarterings feed. What? When did it go down? I mean, okay, so he was pretty out there. He was pretty toasted. When I was watching my time right now, it's like 11, quarter after 11 right now. So 9:40 my time, I got off my phone from watching him to get this set up. Yeah, Invictus, no, me too. That's 100%. Eliza is much more concerning than Jack Murphy. Jack Murphy was just a dude in disguise playing a role, just like in any other person in the manosphere. Like, hey, give me $50 a month and I'll teach you how to impress the ladies. It's like, dude, some of us are married for the last decade and don't give a fuck what you think about how to impress the ladies. So, but with Jack Murphy, he was a business associate. If you think about the fact that Jack Murphy was on that show, and I liked Jack Murphy. I didn't ever subscribe to his manosphere thing, but I generally liked his presence on the show. Looking back now, I'm like, oh my God, I was so fooled. I was so duped. The video's gone. Did they cut the live stream during the show, or did it just get deleted afterwards? Okay, so as a business owner, the thing he doesn't accept is that, yes, he should have come out and said, yeah, I didn't vet him well enough. I didn't know him as well as I could have. But hey, he was a guest. He's not going to be a guest anymore. The fact that Tim feels like he doesn't owe anybody an explanation for anything, that goes back to more of him being a narcissist, to be honest. And he said on this video, oh, people think I'm a narcissist, whatever. I can't change their mind. Dude, if you would just say, I have no control over things I don't know about, so he won't be on here anymore, and that's that, people would have nothing to say. He may have deleted the stream. Oh, he was toasted, okay? I didn't realize how toasted he was, but he was pretty buzzed. You were behind an hour? Okay, Butcher. Well,
nothing I could say.
Probably just him realizing it was going to look bad tomorrow, because I think it got a little spicy, right?
They go in my chat now and they say that Tim Pool accused his fans of being robots. I never did that.
Yeah, you did.
I said a PR firm created about 50 of these bots, spams people's comments.
When he was talking to John Rich, I don't think he ever said a number like 50 spam bots.
Ask any celebrity. You take a look at certain Democrat organizations, like I think it's called Share Blue, and that's very much what they do. It's just called astroturfing. And this is astroturfed. Why? Well, for one, I can't say too much, but based on what we've discovered, we pretty much know who's doing it and why they're doing it. You then get low-tier drama channels that take the bait and go for it.
So, again, you don't have to love the Quarterings content. You don't have to think it's highbrow. You don't have to think it's worth, watching every day, or you don't have to think it adds anything to society. But the man has 1.5 million almost subscribers on YouTube, okay? It got spicy? Oh, yeah. So, he refers to them as low-tier drama channels. I'm like, I don't know. Something about that doesn't sit well with me. It feels like jealousy. It feels like Tim's over here going, I'm working my ass off, and I'm trying so hard, and I'm up every night, and I'm working 7 days a week, and I don't get a night off, and all this stuff. Meanwhile, these guys just talk about some drama. Look, some ordinary gamer. He's got what, like a couple million subscribers? 3 million? Mudahar over on his channel. And he makes like a 10-minute video every couple days. And it has to do with something gaming, okay? You think he's talking about me, low tier? It's possible, but I never once mentioned him. Maybe people in my subscriber size as far as channels go, but my video had nothing to do with him. It's like people were only talking about Eliza until he stayed silent. No. Tim was like, everyone with less subs than me than this is trash. Well, and the quartering. Could be someone below 20K. Possibly. He's figured it all out. He won't name names. Exactly. Yeah, Twitch IRL. That's one of those reasons that I'm sick and tired of streaming on Twitch. Because like I'll go to browse what's popular or get my Twitch studio thing on the browser set up, and you can't get past the homepage without some gal with her tits out pretending to be like interesting or playing a video game or some shit. And I'm like, nah, I'm gone. Yeah, exactly, Capitalist. Quartering has more subs than Tim. I think that's definitely kind of pissing him off. Well, Tim's gonna lose a few more because I'm subscribed to Tim on YouTube and BitChute, probably on Minds.com also. And I'm gonna unsubscribe after I get done tonight before I go to bed.
Talking about me and insulting me, and it works. Here's what
Pretty fair take there, Johnny.
You know, I want the world to get better. I want the economy to get better. I want there to be less war.
Yeah, you want the economy to get better because you want more money. You want those memberships to keep coming in.
Individual grifters, corrupt individuals who are grifters and corrupt politicians did everything in their power to make it all just so much worse. That was the Democrats. And that's why Joe Biden is a crackpot. That's why he's corrupt. And that's why we know that he's been enriching his family. Donald Trump did some things that are questionable, and we criticize those things. I want to see humanity travel to the stars. And I'm hoping that'll be the case. In order to do so, we have to actually care about it. Now, there's two ways to approach this. One, you can be like AOC. I could come out and be like, wow, I didn't know these things.
I don't understand the Elon dick riding coming from Tim right here. He's already referenced once that he wants to see us put men on Mars, and he wants to send families to other planets, and he wants to see us... Why? Oh, you were a Timcast member. Oh, okay, well, that's one that I can verify now. That's good to know. I want the best for the world, listen and believe. Yeah, Tim ain't no Jesus, though. That's the problem. The funny thing is, in real life, Tim and I are probably exactly the same size. We're both short, although his hairline is probably receding faster than mine. Mine is just like where I've got the widow's peak thing. I think Tim is legitimately bald. So, here's my thing. Like I said, when I did my Eliza video, it had nothing to do with Tim. I was just... I'm sitting back watching the whole thing unfold. I'm posting on YouTube like, wow, this is escalating pretty crazy. Like, you know, Tim blocked the quartering has these videos about him and back and forth. And then there's the interactions before that on Twitter where they kind of like kissed and made up. But I'm sitting back here as one of the normies, the casual viewer of both channels, getting told by one guy, if you watch both of us, go fuck yourself.
Things about Eliza Blue. Oh, heavens.
Oh yeah, Richie, everybody's taller than me.
About it. That's one way to do it.
I can't do nothing about it, so hey.
I just don't care.
Grotesquely bald, yeah.
I mean, you can lie about me all you want, and you can make up fake things and claim I said things I never said. You can be like the Young Turks or Sam Cedar, you know, whatever. The other way to do it is just do the work and hope that the
he might be going bald from stressing himself out too much,
and we can make it.
Sure, it happens.
I'll wrap up with this, I suppose. You know, going along. There's one reason
I'll wrap up. This goes 11 minutes more.
You know, I don't care to talk about things related to me. I don't care to talk about personal issues. I don't talk about family.
You just spent the last half hour talking about yourself, dude.
On occasion, though. Sometimes I think transparency is warranted, and people may wonder about what's going on behind the scenes.
6'7",
damn! Most people don't know or care about any of this. And many of you are probably going to say,
that's crazy.
I have no idea who these people are.
Again, I should have been tracking how many times Tim puts down everybody else he mentions. Look, if people know who Tim Pool is, if people know who... Look, okay, an author like Gad Sad is not a household name. Jordan Peterson, as famous as he is not a household name, okay? He's not somebody that anybody who doesn't pay attention to politics would know anything about. And these guys travel all over the world doing speaking arrangements and speaking tours and selling out stadiums, and they have books and stuff. But the only people who know who Tim Pool, Jordan Peterson, Steven Crowder, and yes, the quartering and the drama channels, they all live in the exact same circles. Sure, there's channels that have 100,000 or 200,000 or 1 million subscribers that I know nothing about. And at some point, my path will overlap with one of theirs while I'll discover another channel. But Tim Pool doesn't have the corner on the market. He's not some god among rodents that he thinks he is. So this just frustrates the shit out of me that he thinks all these other YouTubers are like nothing compared to him. Where, Tucker? My cat's screaming at me. Tim keeps Ian around as a paid friend, basically. Tim has no actual friends and you're now believing it. Yeah, it is what it is.
But I'm not that kind of personality like.
Oh yeah, Richie, I was thinking nobody would be up tonight.
I'll tell you literally and exactly.
Kind of happy with the turnout.
Why we do it. I just won't waste time talking about things that people don't understand. I see a lot of these big corporations.
I won't waste time talking about things people don't understand because we're all so stupid.
I tell the story all the time about how Fusion came to me and they said our audience is progressive and we're going to give them what they want to hear. We're going to side with them. And I said I'd never do that. And thus people are angry and they're outraged, saying, why won't Tim Pool talk about the things I demand he talk about? Well, I'm not here to side with you. Sorry. Have a nice day.
All right, there's another piss off. There's another piss off.
Obsessive psychodrama from other people.
Obsessive?
I don't want to be famous in this. I never did. You can lie and claim that I did all day and night. But
okay, so Joe Rogan made Timcast.
Apologize to you, mob. I don't care where you come from, left or right. You'll never get an apology.
Here's another piss off. That's 8 now. Screw yourself.
I don't need to be famous. I don't want to be famous, and I don't need your support. Now, for those of you who agree with me, those of you who think that we should be changing the culture, we should be building things, we should try our damnedest to do so, that we should push back on this low-tier garbage.
This is the crazy thing. Tim will be one of those people who says the easiest way you can fight back is to get out of the city, buy some farmland, have a family, homeschool your kids. With that, minus the farmland part, everything that I do in my day-to-day life. And yet, for some reason, he thinks he's like this holy beacon that has to be out here shining for everyone else to do what they need to do. Like, nobody else could figure this shit out if they didn't have Tim. Ian's pretty out there, but, you know, he's done, like, every drug known to man. I mean, I got respect for the guy that he's still alive and functioning after what I assume is a lifetime of drugs, you know?
Try and find a way to make things better, that we should instill values of individual responsibility, liberty, or otherwise. And you want to support the work we do, I'm eternally grateful that you do support us. I really am. But this is the kind of stuff that I think is what's plaguing our culture. I'll say this.
You'll say this, okay. Yeah. More, right? Yeah, there's always more.
Hassan won't play a video game because he's being bullied. He said, because nobody wants to deal with a whole bunch of people spamming their chat and threatening to unsubscribe. And he's completely right. I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, that's the thing, Electron. I had nothing against Tim either. He was just another content creator that I liked some of the opinions of, and he got me through my daily work schedule. You know, it was like the house you live in has a diesel generator. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I mean, like, that's, in my opinion, it's nice to have a generator. Power goes out here, I'm fucked. If someone comes
to me and starts yelling at me or spamming my chat, I'll just say, go away. I don't care.
There's another go away.
You can't bully me. You know, look, I've been homeless. And
9 times in this video, he's referenced or directly told people to go away, piss off, screw off, go fuck yourself. So 9 times. The only thing good was the comment section. Dude, did you ever see the comment section on BitChute? You got to get on BitChute. If you're not on there, holy shit. So if I upload a video to BitChute, most time nobody sees them because I have a very small audience on there. But like the comments sometime, it's like, whoa, like it's like 1990s or 2000s, like Call of Duty lobby kind of stuff. It's crazy.
And most of you know, you can roll your eyes all you want, the people who are mad. I've had my home and studio evacuated.
Oh, nice, Richie.
By police officers with rifles and bomb threats and the bomb squad being brought out here. The last thing I care about is the opinion of people who want me to engage in drama garbage. But I say this because the cancel culture is a large component of what's a negative driving force in our culture. People are obsessed with the fight. They're obsessed with the anger. They want someone to be angry.
Come on, say they're obsessed with you again. I want to mark this down again.
Be angry at me all you want, whatever. I don't care.
Well,
it gets you clicks on YouTube.
We'll say that's him saying people are obsessed with him. That's 8.
But I'm just going to try and do my thing. Tonight, we're going to be meeting with several members of Congress to talk about Twitter censorship, the censorship of conservatives, something I've been right about.
So, Capitalist, part of that. Do you remember, God, this is probably about, so I Googled this earlier. I couldn't remember the last time Andy No was on Timcast. But when Andy No got attacked, when he went back to Portland, I think Andy No left and went to the UK and then came back to report on Antifa in Portland. And he got attacked and they were trying to find him and kill him and he got pretty beat up, right? Tim Pool came out and said, basically, Andy is being irresponsible and he's putting himself in the harm's way and he's making himself the story. I don't know if you guys remember this or not, but he literally criticized Andy No for making himself the story by going there, okay? And yet, Tim Pool will tell stories about how he used to go to no-go zones, and he used to go to places where the police would throw him up against the wall and put him in a room where they didn't know if they were going to get executed or not. But Andy, no, Tim wanted to criticize him for making himself the story, okay? They met with 5. Oh, crap, met with 5 what? I'm having a hard time keeping track of what you're talking about.
And the State of the Union and the betterment of this country. Maybe I'm not the person you want to watch. Maybe there's somebody else.
Hey, thanks for the sub. Appreciate it.
I hope you go watch them. I really, really do. I can only be me and only do my thing, and that's the only thing I will do. But truly, the last thing I will say. I hope you all can understand the...
Gonna take him 8 minutes to say it. Watch.
The obsession that people have with me is...
Obsession. 9.
And you know this because we've had people break into the house.
You remember the Andy attacked... The Andy attack and Tim's response. Yeah, 100% Electron. 5 congressmen. Yeah, they interviewed... Look, Tim Pool has clout. Tim Pool has a big... he's got a big reach. I'm not saying he doesn't. Now, when you look at actual analytics for his videos, his live streams get a couple 100,000 total views, which is really good. But after a live stream goes to VOD, where it's just a video sitting on YouTube, it doesn't get as many views. People don't go back and watch live streams as much as they do during the live stream, right? People tend to watch things that are more actual content, you know, that's been recorded and released at a specified time. So Tim's other videos that he cuts into segments from the live stream, when he does his little 10 to 15 minute videos on the Timcast IRL channel, those get less views than the quartering. They get less views than some of Yellow Flash's videos on a comic book or something. So again, Tim has a specific niche, like a reach that he has that works for him. And doing all of this, rather than just saying, you know, we didn't feel it was worth talking about, the fact that he took money and ignored it with Jack Murphy has led to this. The fact that every night they wouldn't address it, and he sat there taking super chats and taking people's money, people who actually don't have the money to spend, but they wanted him to talk about it, and he just ignored them. That's what's led to this right now. Tim promotes drag queens and trans swimmers.
Property, even after being told not.
He's got some weird takes. I'll give you that.
You know all about it. I've been involved in lawsuits, and I can't.
100% he needs a security detail.
So many people care about who I am.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's insane.
Tim won't do anything to risk his YouTube channel.
Why does
Not
Sam
a chance.
Cedar make so many videos about me, dude? I never talk about
obsessed
that.
Again. That's 10
Why
times.
Why do the Young Turks make so many videos about me? They got more followers than I do. Jeez. Why is it that people are so damned interested in clicking a video with my face on it? Holy crap. You know,
look, it is drama. People do love drama. People get drawn into it. I wasn't going to live stream about drama. I wasn't going to live stream about Tim. It had nothing to do with him. But then this man decided to come out today and tell me to go fuck myself. Literally, for the crime of following him and the quartering. That's it. If you follow the quartering, I don't want you here. His words.
I've told this story before.
He creates his own drama.
Before I went on Joe Rogan's show in 2019.
Oh yeah, name drop again, Joe Rogan.
I'm sitting in my boxers playing World of Warcraft. What was it?
I've seen that, Richie.
Legion, I think, was out. I had 180,000 subs on Timcast on this channel.
If he's going to ignore stories critical of his fans, he's not going to have any fans.
100,000 on Timcast News, and I was making 6 figures. I was making about as much as I made when
Johnny, 100%. So, and it just showed his true colors, because he was more than willing to sit there and take your money and not talk about it. Look, if somebody donated $5 in the middle of me doing something that was completely unrelated and said, give me your opinion on egg salad sandwiches, I would say, you gave me your money, I'm going to give you my opinion on egg salad sandwiches, okay? So literally, it's like the amount of disrespect that Tim feels for anybody that he views as lower class than him, it's just like, holy shit, dude. The man's ego is not, it's off the charts.
There, making good money.
He's covered tons of drama.
Didn't have to worry about stalkers or any other weird garbage because nobody cared about me.
Tim, through the last 3 years of waking up down the toilet 1 week. 100% Gary.
Worked until like 4 p.m. Had the rest of the day off to do whatever. Worked from home. Talk about a good life.
He does spend a lot of time talking about money, doesn't he? And the funny thing is, people who tend to talk about money then also try to say that it's not about the money. Do you remember Candace Owens talking about Crowder? And again, my take on Crowder versus Daily Wire, I think both had legitimate arguments. Candace Owens didn't do Daily Wire any favors. She came off really badly on Timcast. But the people that always say it's not about money, then they stop and they obsess about the money. They talk about the money. All like, oh, remember how much money he's getting? And it's like, oh, but it's not about the money. It's like, dude, the people that say it's not about the money are the ones who are the most obsessed with money, okay? Because all of us who have to pay our bills like a normal human being that has a regular job and regular bills to pay, we care about the money because we have to know where our incomes are coming from. So we don't say it's not about the money. Everything when you are a nobody is about the money because you got to pay your bills.
Yes. And I decided I have to work twice as hard. I have to do
Yep.
twice as much. I have to
100% was an a-hole
Even
about
right
this.
Now I'm being pitched to do
That's the only reason I'm
another
pissed
show
off.
on a
I don't.
different network.
I couldn't have cared
They're
less.
offering me, money, and maybe they'll offer me enough. I don't know. And I'm actually considering it because I must be psychotic.
Which is crazy, Invictus, because Tim pre-recorded this. Well, I don't know. Does he do these live or these live when he records them? But he had time to compose himself. He had time to prepare what he wanted to say. So lashing out like Candace Owens doesn't make any sense. I'm not even saying that because he's a man and she's a woman. There's those components too. But like, this was premeditated. He planned to come out here and say, Jeremy Hambley is a piece of garbage. Brittany Venti, he mentioned her one time as if she was a piece of like internet trash, you know? Yeah, oh, and he loves making it about himself.
Maybe the best thing to do is just realize.
Why did he open a super chat in the first place? 100% Leona.
They thrive on this stuff. There's no answer to cancel
Tim has
culture because
short
you
man
can't change
syndrome.
human nature.
Trust me, as a
As
short
Bill
man, I
Maher
can say
pointed
that
out
because I see it in
the
other short
second
guys.
last week.
I love being short. I had no
Mao
problem
wanted
being
to
short.
change human nature, and he
Like, I've
can't
got a
do it.
short
The Soviets
fuse,
wanted to do it.
no
You
pun
can't do
intended.
it. People crave this stuff.
But like,
Why would I want to be the center of that? I never did, and I still don't.
you named your show
So one of the
Timcast.
best things that could
Okay?
possibly happen to me is people just back off. Stop tweeting about me. Stop complaining about me. Stop watching 50 drama videos with my name on it.
Basically, 11 times he's accused people of being obsessed with him.
Man,
9 times he basically told him to piss off.
it really would be great. But it's not about, I don't make this video because of the drama pertaining to me right now. Admittedly,
Right. The Cassandra
as much as they
Brittany
probably
thing is a
lie,
huge
they'll make
source
a
of
video
it.
saying, Tim goes on rant or whatever like that because it fuels their psychopathy.
Oh, yeah. Right now, guys, what he's doing is he's fueling my psychopathy. The Quartering made a video about Tim, and so I instantly was so triggered that I couldn't function. I couldn't get through my day-to-day. No, I didn't go to work. I didn't worry about my mom and her personal life. I didn't worry about my wife and our kids. I didn't worry about the fact that baseball tryouts for my kids are Saturday. I didn't worry about the fact that I had to go to Costco and go grocery shopping and come home and make dinner. And I had to do the kids' laundry because my wife had surgery and she can't do that right now. I wasn't thinking about any of that. I was so triggered by a video I watched from The Quartering that I had to come home and make an angry rant video about Tim Pool. That's the psychopathy kicking in. Oh yeah, Cassandra hates Brittany. Even the poll he made was trick people like if you hate Eliza but downvote if you like her. I didn't see that poll. Apparently, I'm not obsessed with Tim because I didn't see that poll. Leona, you might want to get yourself checked out, though. Let's see. Timcast Music, what's up with that name? Right, okay, so... Yeah, my whole Tebow talk, run Tebow, run... since there's enough of you here, I'll give you the story. I was like, when was Tim Tebow quarterback for the... Not Patriots. Who did he get drafted by? Josh McDaniels, the Broncos. Tim Tebow got drafted to play for the Broncos as quarterback, and I was just in the process of changing my Xbox gamer tag from something really cringy. I was like, I'll just do something stupid. And so I was like, well, Tim Tebow can't throw a ball. I was really obsessed with football at that point. I'm like, okay, so he has to run the ball. So run, Tebow, run. Ha ha ha. Okay. People now, like guys my age, kind of get it. I didn't ever want to name a channel Daniel Says This or Daniel News or Danny blah, blah, blah. It's like, because I'm not putting myself out there. I mean, I am to a certain degree, but you know what I'm saying? I'm not like, oh, I'm going to name my company after myself. It's like, it's weird. Yeah, it was Denver. Yeah, he never mentions the censorship. He never mentions any of that. He just basically sums it all up to Eliza's a nobody and people worrying about her are a bunch of grifters. And it's all just drama. It's beneath me. Let me end the video about myself, tell people to stop watching videos about myself. And somehow he's going to say that he's going to be okay if tomorrow he wakes up and everything just falls apart. Maybe he is. The thing about narcissistic people, and I hate this because my mom, she's done a lot of research into like narcissism and borderline personality and cluster B people and stuff. So I've heard a lot more about this than I ever wanted to. But Tim would probably have himself convinced that if everything fell apart tomorrow and he had to start from scratch, that he did the right thing and that he was justified and that everybody else was wrong and that he did this amazing, wonderful, brave thing. I think I remember that, Richie. I think I remember your name being Daniel. I can't say that for definite. But Tim having to put his first name on everything just lends to narcissism. Yeah, it's like, and then he says it's not about me. I don't want to be famous.
The reality is the overwhelming majority of people who watch my content don't comment. They've emailed support. They've redoubled their memberships. They've increased their memberships.
Redoubled their memberships because we all have that kind of money.
And there are people who just hate and hate and hate.
Just use a fake name. Hey, I got no problem with that.
We're going to keep expanding what we do at Timcast. We've got a new morning show that's going to be comparable.
Ashton Whitty. I'm not sure about that one.
We'll get some moms and some women of moderate politics.
Maybe he has a form of autism.
Real world issues, but like
Scrotum, a goat, turquoise, white horns, legend. Yeah.
We're going to keep doing it. We're going to redouble our efforts, and I'm hoping.
So, I realized I just read that as a, I just read the emote as like an actual line of text, but that's okay. I can't see the emote.
Then in doing so,
yeah, but Scrotum, a goat, he did a great thing.
Come to Timcast and have come to follow me, who are obsessed with low tier consequential drama. I hope they leave.
Oh, and piss off.
We lose a lot of money. Fine. I never wanted your money.
All right. 12 obsessions and 10 piss offs. Here we go.
You can call me a grifter all you want. Take your money and leave.
He grabs the microphone to be very serious.
I don't want to be rich. I don't want to be famous. I don't need it. You can leave.
We'll say that's 11.
I'm not going to lie to anybody.
11 times.
I'm not going to tell someone, please don't leave. I desperately need your money. Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me apologize to a mob that's mad at me. I don't care. I care about what I think is important.
Again, I don't plan on making videos about things that I'm not interested in because I have very little time in my course of my day with the kids and work to spend sitting down going, okay, what do I really want to make a video about? I still have ideas for videos that I don't have time to do, but they're things that I genuinely want to do, and I don't know if they'll actually be popular. I don't know if people will watch them. It's like, you know, so once in a while making a video about something popular is probably smart for me. But it's like, I can respect that he doesn't want to discuss topics that aren't important to him. But if you are supposed to be a news source, if you are supposed to be covering things that are relevant to everyday people, and the everyday people who watch you are saying this is important, you are doing them a massive disservice by not only not covering it, but by shitting on them because they find it noteworthy and you don't. He danced around in a live stream. Ashton Whitty was an employee. Ashton Birdie also was employed around 2019 or 2020. She said she basically tried to groom... He tried to groom her. Oof. I think she's scared to say anything because Tim made her sign an NDA. Well, hey, but if it's criminal, an NDA doesn't mean shit. If it's civil and it's not an actual crime that he committed, then yeah, you don't want to say nothing. While playing a game, he could have made it a 5-minute video and said just as much. Literally, he says it.
What I think is important is creating physical
12 times he talks about obsession.
I may not be the guy to do it.
And 11 times he tells people to piss off.
I'm not as big as the Daily Wire. I'm not as famous. And there's a lot of people who get mad at me about a lot of things. And maybe that will always be the case. Whatever, man.
She was physically at the Tim house.
Someone would just say, go screw yourself if you're pissed off.
Ooh. There we go. That's 12. Maybe we're tied neck and neck here.
Is impossible. And I feel this way. If it is true that refusing to bend the knee to a mob and telling them outright, you're not gonna dictate what I do, and I'm not gonna apologize to you. If that means we won't be able to grow to the size of, say, the Daily Wire and Disney or the New York Times and their 10 million subscribers paying whatever, $10 a month.
Did the cat just trip you? Oh, are you okay? Oh, do you need me to check your foot? Wife just stepped on one of the cat's toys. I think he sabotaged her. Oh, hang on. We got a few more minutes of it.
Then maybe it's impossible to correct the corruption that is decaying, that is causing the decay in this country.
Trying to sleep with coworkers?
It's not possible. But I'm sure as hell going to try.
Lydia for a fact.
So we got a building.
With Lydia, did they ever confirm that? Oh, no, Chris, he's talking about... no, it's a whole other... topic. I've made some videos on it. It's about this chick that's trying to get in with Elon Musk, Eliza Blue. He bought that girl an iPhone and she tried to sleep with her too. Sounds like Tim has a habit of trying to sleep with way too many of the women that work for him. I don't know. Who's buying Hogwarts Legacy tomorrow? You know, if I cared about Harry Potter, I'd be interested. The game looks pretty good, to be honest. But I just don't personally, like, I have no connection to it because I didn't watch the movies, I didn't read the books. All right, so let's just end the Tim Pool video, and this is the clip that they were talking about. I don't know if this is from Adam Krigler's like a live stream he did or something. This is really freaking weird. Let me unmute it. Okay. 17, that's pretty damn good. I can't even get the one that I have done. It'll go out when it goes. I'm horrible. I should close my Etsy shop. It's really bad. Okay, hang on. Elon's got way too much shit going on, Chris. It's insane. It's basically a frat house, yeah. Think about who works and sleeps at the same place. It's the worst idea ever. Honest to God, people working and living together in the same space is... Who is this woman behind Adam Krigler here with the cat? Is that Cassandra Fairbanks or is that somebody else? I've watched this a few times and I can't identify who the woman is. Who is that? It doesn't look like Cassandra. But Eliza's on the couch right now. A journalist and a commentator. Journalists are supposed to investigate without bias. Commentators talk about their opinions on a topic. Daily Wire, Tim, etc. are commentators. Yeah. And I think most people know that Daily Wire and The Blaze and, again, right-leaning, left-leaning, Young Turks, people know it's just commentary. I mean, you can get your facts if you can get your biased news from Fox News or CNN or MSNBC. You kind of know that they lean both ways. But it's like, Tim has always talked about being a news channel, like journalistic integrity. Well, news channels don't have everybody that works there living together. No. So this is an old video, Capitalist. This is Adam's wife did live there too. Oh, so is this Adam's wife? I know nothing about Adam Krigler. I'm gonna apologize right now.
You know what? I'm in the middle of a story right now.
I'm gonna turn the volume up.
Adam, I love you too much.
Okay, so this is from, let me show you, let me give credit to whoever it was that found this. Hang on.
Cross.
This chick, Kaylee Mist, I don't know how she got this video. She said that she screen recorded it. Let's see here. Wait, there's more videos now? Dude, she's like sitting on Ian's lap, I think.
Oh
She on his lap? No, I don't think so. Kind of. It's kind of... Yeah, there's something weird there. God, that's a horrible noise. Okay. That's probably Adam's wife, yeah. But when was Adam fired? Wasn't Adam fired long before Eliza's show? So apparently not. Eliza's first show, this recording is supposed to be after Eliza's first appearance on Timcast, and then she obviously stayed the night or whatever. He used to be the co-host. Pretty sure Ian took over the day that Tim fired Adam. Oh, so that's why yeah. So again, I started watching like the quartering and stuff, YouTube commentators in 2020. I didn't find Timcast till probably after Adam was already gone. Yeah, she like rubs his crotch with her foot, if I'm not mistaken. 31 viewers? God, you guys are awesome. Holy shit. Hopefully I keep you guys entertained for a little bit longer. I'm going to be up till we get through this. And then I was going to talk about this Project Veritas thing with James O'Keefe. That's pretty crazy. And we haven't even touched the Shane Cashman part 2. Okay, we're just going to go to the comment section of the Shane Cashman thing after this because it's not worth going through the article. That article is so chunky. It's ridiculous. And it's just a fluff piece for Eliza. It's terrible. Okay, let's see here. So this chick, she has screen recordings of Eliza with the Timcast crew after her first appearance, is what we have here. So let's go bookmarks. Where's this? It's this one right here. Okay, this is the beginning of it.
Story right now.
Adam, I love you too much.
I don't know if he was live streaming or what. There's somebody here. Is that Ian Crossland? Look at him all over her too.
Yes, it is Ian Crossland. Wait, why are you hiding now, Eliza?
He sucks at writing, dude. It's nothing but filler.
Why are you hiding?
I mean,
so
check
much?
this shit out right here. Like, oh my god. Okay, so let's just say, I don't know if she has a boyfriend. I'm sure he's got like a girlfriend or who knows, okay? But like this, drunk or not, this crosses the line if either one of them isn't in a relationship with somebody else, okay? This is like you're into foot job territory here, okay? There's foot rubbing, but you don't know who it is. Well, this right here is her foot really dangerously close to his junk, okay?
Much. Is that your foot on his thigh? You know what?
I don't know anything about Adam Krigler. I know that he had a messy breakup from Timcast and stuff. He gives me weird vibes. I'm just going to say that right now. That's Ian with like a scruffy face, I think.
Okay, look, we got some dancers in the back. All right, we got the strippers in the back.
Beyond friendship, 100%.
Ian, the stripper is Ian.
Strippers in the back.
Wait, hang on. So everybody in this video knows about Eliza's past, claiming that she was trafficked, she was a hooker, she was a stripper, she was whatever. But they're all comfortable to where he can say, oh yeah, we got some strippers back here. Think about it, like if you were worried about somebody who was actually a sexual trafficking victim, you wouldn't say that shit.
That's not my priority.
Okay.
Hey.
Okay.
Look, we got some dancers in the back. All right, we got the strippers in the back. Ian, the stripper is Ian.
Okay, so Chris, since you're coming to this late, Eliza Blue, this woman here, she claims to be a anti-sex trafficking advocate on Twitter. She takes credit for certain child-related videos getting removed from Twitter. She's been chasing Elon's dick for like years, okay? She's 41 years old. She's been like in world star hip hop music videos. She's been trying to be an e-girl like for like forever. She's been doing all this crazy stuff, modeling. She was with the what's his face from My Chemical Romance. She's been like chasing fame her entire life. Her dad's a politician in Illinois. She claims that she's a advocate, that she's been sexually trafficked her whole life, that she's a victim. She claims that she has this charity house where with 500 acres that they take abuse victims. She has a 60 case workload like every single month. All this crazy stuff she's claimed, okay? So this is from like, she was on Timcast, Tim Pool's podcast like 3 years ago. This is when she first got on the scene because she got like Elon Musk to retweet her and it got her famous, and then she kind of like weaseled her way into where she was gaining massive clout on Twitter. One person who actually had interviewed her before found the World Star hip hop video and asked her about it. She then got that person suspended from Twitter. She's gotten hundreds of people. I got suspended from Twitter for sharing a link to my video on her. So yeah, that's basically what's going on here. She's a lying prostitute. The video says everything we know. Oh yeah, 100%. Imagine going to a victim and saying you're a stripper. Think about that. Like, who in their right mind would do that if they honestly thought that she was a victim?
Never watched.
I never had.
Never watched Double Date on here.
Hey.
Hold on.
So yeah, this woman right here was responsible for my account getting suspended on Twitter. I had to delete the link to my video just to get back on.
Lib, where's Lib? Oh, Amanda's still here. Okay, she's still here with us. Woo!
So yeah, it just goes on. There's some guitar playing and dancing and shit. But the funny thing is she can't keep her hands off the guys. So she's like all over here dancing on Ian. Eventually she starts like playing with his hair and shit. Let's go to the other video. Oh, this is her with her money grift. Hang on.
Very unusual.
Okay, so listen, tomorrow's podcast is about to be.
Yo, are you joining me tomorrow, yo?
Yeah, you're paying for my trip home.
You're paying for my trip home.
I already said I was.
And he's like, I already said I would. Dude, this chick is all about the money.
Yo, Amanda, write that down. That I said I would pay for her flight.
You're not just 40. She's 41, Chris.
We got it on video. We got it on live.
It's live. It's live. It's fine. I'm okay with it.
Sorry.
Stop messing with my
It's
cord,
caught
yo.
my toe.
No, deal.
So, Chris, if you go back to the last video I did on her, there's a connection between her and a gal that runs a charity called Eve's Angels. The gal from Eve's Angels vouched for Eliza being an actual victim back in 2013. And the gal from Eve's Angels actually lied about her own parents trying to sexually traffic their granddaughter, her daughter, because she was mad at them and she was trying to extort them for money. So that's where, like, one of Eliza's own supporters is a lying piece of crap who's running a fake charity that's grifting, that was trying to extort money out of her own parents, and she got sued by her parents and owed them $50,000. So she's touching both guys, about to kiss Adam. Yeah, it's weird.
You wish.
Feels off.
You wish. You wish.
You fucked with my cord.
You wish.
Yeah, and this just goes on and on. There's more and more of this.
Yo, Ian, and let it out.
But yeah, now Tim Pool's getting buried because he won't talk about it. And he's like, oh, it's not important. This is beneath me. This is
Very unusual.
It's like Twitter censorship is 100% his wheelhouse. That's something he should talk about. Oh, here's where she's touching everybody. You think she has a Discord? Nearly kissed Adam or Ian.
She's getting the
Oh, from Adam. Yeah.
I guess I'm playing the song or not. I tell Ian to be himself.
So basically, Tim Pool, who covers all sorts of stuff, mostly news. He's like this centrist podcaster. He leans more right wing, Chris, but he's a liberal. We'll say he's a fence sitter, right? Which is why he appeals to a lot of people. He claims, because this Eliza chick was on his show twice. They all live in this compound together where they work and do his podcast, and he's got a big mansion, skate park, and stuff. And he claims that he wouldn't talk about this because it was drama, it was just gossip, Eliza's not that important, whatever, okay? So people were attacking Tim, even super chatting him in his channel, saying, hey, you have to disavow this woman, are you going to talk about this woman? Because literally, she was causing a massive amount of Twitter censorship, and that's something that should be newsworthy. And he straight up wouldn't talk about it.
You posted to sing it.
Adam's not even remembering.
Pride cometh before a fall.
I don't know what I'm playing.
Well, we'll see. We'll wait and see if the fall actually happens.
I'm not a professional. All right, it's this one.
We're horrible, you guys. We're the worst.
I wish I had some context though, because like I know nothing about Adam Krigler at all, other than he had that messy falling out with Tim.
I know.
But if you combine like all the stuff you see on camera, oh yeah, here we go. The actual stuff you see on camera with the stuff that probably happens off camera, her and Ian are definitely screwing each other. There's no question.
Then it goes up.
You never rub some hair like that? Yeah.
Are you ready?
The dude's all simped hard on this girl, 100%.
All right, here we go. Here's Freely.
100%.
No, Amanda, you're good.
Oh, this was from Periscope, huh?
She's joking.
Alright, let's go.
Well, this 100% is that account that I saw earlier that shared it. She tagged a bunch of like Fair and Balanced and a bunch of people who are covering this on there, so
Yep.
she definitely gets credit for it.
That was the wrong.
Are you
I was
good?
trying to fix it. Sorry.
Fix it. My hair was perfect.
Yeah, it looked great.
The weirdest thing about this, guys. Here's the weirdest thing. I don't know how old Adam Krigler is, but these are all people in their late 20s, mid 30s. And Eliza at this point is already 40 or close to 40. It's like, dude, why are you over here hanging out with a bunch of grown-ass men acting like you're a teenager? It's just so weird. I can't tell if it's more creepy or cringy. Yeah, you can see them in the background there. Still in that DK Oldies story? I have no idea what that one even is. But see, Chris, this is more like, this isn't really political. This is more like government censorship, Twitter
That
shit, you know?
sucks.
Eliza's a mom? No, I don't think she has any kids, right? She was married to one person, but I don't think she has any kids. Being 15 at a party with alcohol and spring break. 100%. I can't speak from experience on that one, but it's got those kind of vibes.
You choose where your mind
Big attention whore.
spends all its time.
Which, if it was some random woman being an attention whore, hey, that happens every day, whatever, you know? But when she's like weaseling her way into like Twitter and shit, no.
Crashing like the ocean tide. Climb up
If you mean Eliza's menopausal, then yes, yeah.
up the mountainside.
Okay, so the story about her with the underage guy, there's a post from his Instagram account. She was at least close to 30, late 20s, if not 30, and he had just turned 17, and he's like, thanks to this beautiful woman for giving me the night of my dreams, or the night of my life, or whatever, and the kid's like 17. And I'm like, yeah, you could try to like fill in the blanks yourself, and it might be one of those things where you're grasping at straws. But a woman that's been sex trafficked, her own words, that's living in that sort of situation, for a 17-year-old to say she gave him the night of his life or some shit, I was like, I don't know. Eliza could be these guys' moms. I mean, she's not that old, is she? 41 now. Adam Krigler's got to be at least in his 30s.
Would you find a smile?
Yeah, Ian's got to be in his 40s.
Naturally. That's the magic, don't forget it. It'll help.
Oh yeah, a lot of slow dancing going on back there. I don't know if there's anything more than that at this point. Here she is hugging on Adam. I can't listen to this with the audio. No way. The audio is terrible. He said it a couple times on IRL. She tried to traffic another girl. There's messages. Yeah, so there was the girl that, the story goes, she tried to, Eliza tried to recruit her into escorting. And this other chick was married. And Eliza's like, oh yeah, you could make like $500 a night. It's super easy. And it's like, okay, so who's the real trafficker, you know?
I'm sorry.
I'm so boxed. Could have like my let me have a
All right, come on.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a little,
Yo, if you don't,
let's do it.
let me just say, if you don't know who Eliza Blue is, you really should check yourself. All right, this song is called
well, we do
Freely.
now.
We're gonna freestyle it.
Ian, you know Freely, right?
Come on, Ian.
All right, you're good, jam on
Well,
Freely.
I'll just let him do his thing.
Honest to God, this is like, this reeks of desperation so bad. Back over here, basically on his lap again. Ian also says he's a scientist and believes in magic. I mean, the dude, like I said, he's done like mushrooms and every drug known to man. So it is what it is.
No idea.
Everyone's gonna have their own weird, whacked out beliefs, and I can't deny him his. Yeah, this part 2, there's no way. It's already what, midnight my time? Oh fuck it. We'll kind of go through it a little bit. So the part 1, I don't know. I did a TLDR on this on YouTube. Basically, she gives the same story we've already heard, and she just basically says a few more details. I still can't name names. I'm not going to provide any evidence, and he doesn't ask anything further. That's literally the entire part 1. It's complete dog shit, filler exposition. There's nothing new that we learn, okay? Absolutely nothing. Looks like they're all trafficking Eliza. You may be right about that. If you haven't slept with Eliza B, you never know what you're missing out on. Dude, there was somebody saying, because she claimed to be in a drug house, basically, with like transsexual hookers that were being trafficked. Somebody was hypothesizing that maybe she was actually a dude that then was transitioned. I don't know if I buy that so much, because then she told a story about how in that house that she was being trafficked in, there was a lot of transsexuals, and so they made her wear a dark wig to make her look like a boy. And I'm like, is this where the short hair comes from? Is this what we're talking about? 8 hours more and you'll stick around? Oh, well, dude, I have to work like normal daytime hours tomorrow, but I'll stay around for a little bit longer. I'm not done yet. As long as you guys hang out, I'm cool. I'll stay. You're sure Tim and Eliza boned? I think Tim wanted to. I'm not going to say I think he did for sure. This is why Tim's dying in the Eliza Blue. Okay, so before we like go through this, I think the reason that Tim is sticking up for Eliza is because Eliza has boned several people in Timcast, and Tim is afraid because Cassandra and Eliza are friends. Cassandra has dirt on her, and I'm not going to get into Cassandra's dirt. Oh, appreciate it, Gary. So Cassandra and Eliza were friends before her appearance on Timcast, as I remember, because they were good enough friends that Eliza was at Cassandra's wedding last year. So clearly there's a connection there. Cassandra has her own spotty past. She claims that she had photos taken of her that were non-consensual because she was underage. That's true, that sucks, and nobody should be looking up those photos, because underage, you should be protected. But that being said, If they weren't consensual, then Eliza is doing the exact same blueprint as Cassandra, where, okay, I'm going to claim something was non-consensual, I'm going to claim it was underage or coerced or forced, and so I'm going to get it taken down because I'm ashamed of my past. And you know what? It's fair that people might be ashamed of things they did in the past. I've done things I'm ashamed of, we all have. But the reality is, you can't suppress the truth or lie about things because you're ashamed of something you did in your past. You have to either own up to it or just ignore it. And they're not doing either one. They are literally spinning lies and tales. And in Cassandra's case, she's just like lashing out at anybody who's questioning why Timcast isn't covering this. Tim loves foot rubs. Cassandra is 30 in all her photos. It's very obvious. I don't think she's underage. I'm positive she's not underage in the photos either, but that's just the story. She was in Venti's chat as Grift Seeker earlier. She was in Brittany Venti's chat? No fucking way. Did porn well into her 20s. Well, again, you can be ashamed of the things you did, and that doesn't mean that you need to have them thrown in your face, but we're seeing a pattern here. We're seeing a pattern of people who are, rather than owning their own past mistakes and saying, hey, guess what? I screwed up. I learned from it. You can learn from it too. You can not make the same mistakes I did. They are just flat out trying to silence any dissenting voices. And that's the real problem. That's all you were here to say? Hey, appreciate it, grateful guy. Her mom covered for her in the article. Yeah, I think my wife was telling me something about that. Maybe Eliza learned to lie from her, or maybe the whole family's on the grift since the farm is involved. I mean, her dad is a politician. We all know politicians lie for a living. Doesn't matter what side they're on. Eliza does post all day long on Twitter. She's very active. Well, she doesn't have a real job. That's the thing. She's not running a charity. She doesn't have a caseload. She's not any sort of licensed social worker of any kind. Yeah, exactly, Lohan. It has nothing to do with your past. It has to do with owning the fact that if something did happen, okay, yeah, it happened. So what? You move on. Big deal. Maybe she's here and loving the infamy. She wouldn't be in my chat. I've got 28 viewers. There's no way. And if she is, don't care. I couldn't care less. I'll ask her what she thought about my video. Because personally, I think she has some connection over at YouTube. My video got 21,000 views in 2 days. And then it stopped. That's weird. There's something super fishy about that. She knows what people need to say to ban them from each social platform, so she goes into their chats and tricks them into saying it. Well, I mean, I got suspended the one time on Twitter, and then I came back after deleting the tweet, and I just rubbed it right back in her face again. I'm like, hell, since I got deleted the first time, here's the link to the video again, and so far that tweet is still up, and I'm not suspended. So we'll see if she gets me again or not. Okay, let's go manipulate the numbers to balance the deleted tweets. Right, and that's a big thing about like Social Blade and other things that track like subscriber count and followers and your tweet count. It's all designed to offset the number of tweets you delete. You tweet some random stupid tweet and it looks like you deleted less tweets. Hey, Butcher, I appreciate it. All right, so let's just take a quick look through this. I'm kind of... What do you think, guys? Should I narrate it? Should I read through it out loud? Do you guys just want me to kind of like take pieces out? I don't mind reading through like the actual quotes. I can do that because it's kind of hard to see on the screen. I know it's not easy to see. Would you accept someone on to discuss this? I'm a content creator. I'd love to chat with you about it. I mean, possible. I'm not proficient in doing like group streams, like multi chat, like the whole StreamYard thing. I've never even looked into it. This is my first foray into live streaming non-video game streams. I think my first stream was last week. So I typically would be like, I was a Twitch streamer. That sucked ass. I would make some YouTube videos. They didn't get many views. And then I kind of stumbled onto just doing YouTube. After 3.5 years of... Actually, it's almost 4 years now since I first started streaming on Twitch. So right now, Twitch isn't even turned on. I don't like talking about this kind of stuff on Twitch because Twitch is mainly for gaming, in my opinion. It's highlights. Yeah, it's way too bloated. He would totally throw Ian under the bus if it meant saving his career. All right, Electron, I will just pull out the highlights then. Ian and Tim are spit brothers. Yeah, I could see that. All right, so the following conversation took place between Eliza and myself after I'd returned home from the Quad Cities, but before the publication of part 1 of this series. I thought, maybe it's time for me to see if that motherfucker's still alive, she said, in regard to the man who she had sold her for, who she had said sold her for drug money in LA. She asked a friend to Google the man's name. Find anything, I asked? He's still alive, she said. But did you think he was dead, I asked. Because the drug use, if you give his name, do you promise not to put it in the article? I promised. So, this is where he claims, Shane Cashman does, that she has now given him the name of the person that trafficked her originally for $500. Play Cars 3. Dude, fuck Cars 3. I'm not playing that. I've got my Nintendo money saved for Tears of the Kingdom when it comes out on my twin's birthday. And my daughter, she was so funny. She's like, so on our birthday, you're buying yourself a video game, right? I'm like, damn straight. You'll get something else, but I'm buying that game. If Tim falls, that leaves a void that tons of people can fill. I mean, I'm not trying to be Timcast. I'm not trying to be Tim Pool. I'm not trying to set up some news empire. I'm just trying to make a video once in a while and maybe live stream from time to time. That's it. When I was streaming on Twitch, I was trying to... I mean, Chris, you were there for most of it. Metal Gamer Guy. I've known him for going on 4 years now. My Twitch streams, I would stream every freaking night, hours and hours and hours, 6 nights a week, sometimes 7. And it got me nowhere. Play Cars 2. No. Okay, so she claimed, you're the second person I've shared that name with ever. If I make this accusation public, I have to come out with evidence. I mean, maybe I can make the accusation, and maybe I can talk to him privately if he's sober, if he's in a program. I'm sorry, that's suspect right there. Why would you talk privately with the man who trafficked you for $500? The number one thing that pisses me off, and everyone knows about people who have been trafficked, people who have been abused, people who have been victimized, is if you don't name the person who victimizes you, they have gone on to victimize somebody else. You know it 100%. So for her to pull this crap, she's either completely selfish or a liar. It's one or the other. Oh yeah, Chris. Yeah. I heard about it being $70. I've got 25 on my eShop right now. I get 5 a month from GameStop, so I'm gonna have to spend like 20, 30 bucks out of pocket. It's gonna kill me. Hey Matt, how's it going? Get some money, bro. I mean, I'm trying. My wife is working. I'm working, doing the best I can. You know. Even if his company collapses, he'll keep making videos by himself, and people will watch. I agree. Tim's monologues, sometimes I could actually be really entertained by him. It just depends. So let's see. I stared at photos of the man Eliza accused. I can't say he's a household name, but if and when this name does become public, it never will. He says, I know many of you will recognize his music. I found the address that he lived in during and after the time Eliza told me she had lived in LA when she was 17. And again, the details of her past, they don't match up. There are so many things where she claims to have been this age when this happened, but then they go back and say, no, this isn't possible. You would have been this old. Oh, 100% she's a liar. Tim wouldn't be so freaking angry at having puff pieces written unless something really bad hidden. There's somebody in this entire incestuous cesspool between Timcast and Eliza Blue and Twitter. Somebody has dirt on somebody. The only person who's going to come out of it on top is Elon Musk. I mean, and I'm not saying that as somebody who loves him. I couldn't care less. But I think he's the only person that is going to escape without losing too much of his following. Oh, 100%, Gary. I am, honest to God, I'm trying not to panic right now. I've got 30 some odd of you in here, and it's fantastic. It's great. My first video that hit like 21,000 views was my Henry Cavill one a month and a half ago. Every day I was showing my wife, I'm like, oh my God, I have a video that got like 150 views. I have a video that got 300, then it turned into 1,000. I was like really excited. So I don't ever want to lose that appreciation for people who actually show up for what I do. You know, that's one of those things. Nintendo and trafficking don't mix well, 100%. But no, Chris, I'm going to be... I'm taking a little break from streaming games until I get shit figured out. I got a lot of life going on right now with the wife recovering from surgery and stuff, and the kids starting baseball soon. So not going to have a whole lot of like Twitch gaming streams right now, unfortunately. I'd love to. It's just right now it's not happening. Well, thanks, Magic Treehouse. Appreciate it. I'm not so sure about that. I think right now the only reason there's so many of you here, and I'm not dissing you guys for being here, but the only reason you guys found me, or at least the ones that weren't subscribed already, is because this is a big trending thing on YouTube. Which, I mean, hey, you got to cash in while that's happening, right? You got to capitalize on it. Someone in Twitter is leaking Eliza's dirt for sure. Periscope was bought by Twitter, and the latest videos came from. Oh, that was from an archive from Periscope. Interesting. Okay, that's good to know. Okay, so we know that she told Shane Cashman supposedly who trafficked her. Whatever. He could be lying about this entire thing. She could have told him nothing. All right.
Thank you very much, sir. You're a gentleman and a
thanks
scholar.
for the sub. Appreciate it. Let's see. I was reluctant to share that I even know the name. I'll be called a liar. Yes, you will, Shane. You're very good at predicting the future, I gotta say. I'll be accused of the same trickery Eliza's has been accused of, despite my integrity getting picked apart in the digital coliseum. This man is way too long-winded. There's no objectivity in much of today's journalism. Dude, you work for a man who's not being objective. We can't trust you to be objective. There is only a mask of objectivity, especially when confronted with this kind of outside scrutiny I've tripped into here. The man did not trip into it. He was sent there by Tim Pool to cover this specific topic, to do like damage control. This is a strange and dark story from whichever angle you're viewing it, and you're watching me attempt to make sense of it in real time while people with massive YouTube channels breeze over my words, leave out entire portions, pick apart my sentences, read only the comments, and call into question my motives. No, dude, I'm reading every word of it and doing all those things simultaneously. You bet Eliza. Eliza's holding over Timcast either it's information or it's the fact that she shacked up with half the crew. You know, Chris, I am doing as well as I can. My mom is having not a midlife crisis, I wouldn't say that. It's just one of those indecisive moments in life where things could go either way with the business and her personal life. You know, the wife had surgery a few weeks ago. The kids are being kids. We've got baseball. We got homeschool. It's a lot of stress. It's a lot going on. Okay, let's see. This new information for sure doesn't also prove trafficking. It doesn't prove shit. It's simply her giving you a name supposedly and you not even giving us the name. This is what I know now. I know a name, I know his age, I know the music he made, I know nearly everywhere he's lived. His LA address when Eliza was 17 was a 3-minute drive from her apartment. The craziest part about this is if there is any legitimacy to the fact that she was trafficked. Let's forget about anything she did after she was in her 20s, okay? The way I look at it, the trafficking I'm concerned about is children. People who are under the age of consent laws, people who are not able to defend themselves, people who are not able to say no, people who are forced into something that they don't want to do. To me, that's children. That's anybody under the age of consent, anybody under the age of 18. Anything she did after that, in my mind, unless she was physically restrained, physically kidnapped, physically forced to do it, if she willingly did something, like if she had a pimp, if she did something that she regrets now, that's on her. We all do things we regret. But if she was truly 15 or if she was truly 17, then 100%, absolutely, she was trafficked. But at some point, when she reached adulthood, that cuts off, you know? Oh yeah, Chris, I'm doing what I can, buddy. All right, so back in Illinois, I sat with Eliza's mom in her living room. She's retired now from being the dean of Blackhawk College. These people's parents are all high rollers. Annie Donowald, the gal from Eve's Angels that lied or whatever, she reinforced Eliza's story. Her dad was an NCAA coach. That's why she tried to extort money out of him. He had lots of money. This gal, Eliza's parents are politicians and deans of a college. Like, that's just crazy. The farm's been in her husband's family since 1840. They grow corn and soybean. Oh, boo, boo. You know, everyone's making that push to get away from seed oils, which I can't blame them for. Let's see. Journalists keep hitting him up. They don't seem like journalists to me, her father said. Journalists try to seek the truth. Get the fuck out of here, man. He's a former professor turned farmer to state representative. He's currently on the board of the district in which they live. Let's see. Eliza's mom thought it was ridiculous. Everything from Eliza fabricating her entire story to being gifted a Tesla by Elon Musk. she's an attention whore. You've mixed with girls who are carbon copies of her. I think we all have on some level, because the grift, the girls that are hustling, it never stops, dude. I mean, that's life. I mean, they say that it's the oldest profession, right? Because it literally is, well, what do you have on your body you can sell? Well, you can sell your body. Okay, maybe you're all actors. Maybe you all cleaned up and are running a script just for me. I said, half kidding. This is not something a journalist says. I'm sorry. This is something somebody who's really uncomfortable covering this because they don't want to be in this situation would say. How old was Eliza when she moved to LA? I asked. 17, she said. How did you handle her going out there so young by herself? We've always tried to be supportive of what she wanted to do. She had done modeling the whole time she was growing up. She did print ads and commercials. I didn't think that much of it. I guess other than that, well, it's probably going to be a crash and burn because most of those situations are, but I'm not going to tell her she can't do it. This is the thing. Despite anything, oh yeah, I'd be pissed too. Despite anything that her mom or her dad say beyond this point, you supposedly willingly let your 17-year-old daughter move from your farmhouse in Illinois all the way to LA to be a model. Guys, the jokes about the casting couch, about like, oh yeah, you know, I'm going to be an actress. I'm at my first, you know, photo shoot or first script reading. They're not jokes. They literally happens all the time. I mean, half the people in Hollywood have slept with the other half of the people that have already been there for years. So the established people are the ones that prey on the ones that are young and vulnerable. This is a tale as old as time. Like, this is not a new thing. And they willingly sent their daughter out there at 17? This is insane. Yeah, and I'm not going to tell her she can't do it. Then you're a terrible parent. I'm just going to come out and say it. Were you worried about her being out there alone, I asked. Her father drove her out because she had a vehicle and all this other stuff. So Rich was there to see the apartment, the neighborhood. As far as being worried, I think any parent would be. Hollywood was a gritty, nasty place. You practically see the Chinese theater from her apartment. And that's not a nice area. I've been there. How did you find out about Eliza's overdose, I asked. A doctor from Cedars-Sinai called me. Imagine getting a phone call from an emergency room in Los Angeles from a physician who calls you and says, I don't care what it takes, get your daughter on a plane and you get her home. He had a foreign accent, and he told me that Eliza's been abused in a horrible way. Like I said, horrible parents. The parents were enablers, 100%. Dude, she's hot. She waves those lethal weapons on her chest about in a tight, low-cut top, and we start frothing at the mouth. That's the funny thing. Like, she'd probably be a lot more attractive if she ditched the butch haircuts. I don't understand that entire thing. It could go back to if she was actually trafficked in this transsexual thing. I'm not going to discount the fact that at some point she might have actually been abused. That's the one thing that I will not ever, like, unless there's ever proof that says, oh no, she was never abused, it never happened. I will always entertain the possibility that these horrible things that she first talks about did happen to her. Again, it's the things that happened once she was an adult that I'm like, dude, you make your own decision. Well, I mean, that's true. Maybe she is holding things over her parents' head. Maybe they're only going along with this. Look what Annie Donowald did with her parents. Okay, she tried to extort money out of them by claiming that they sex trafficked their own grandchild. Okay, these people are scum. People that will do this shit. She's going for the G.I. Jane look. I don't know. I think Demi Moore was hotter back in the day. Maybe it's just that Demi Moore had a bigger rack. I don't know. But either way. Asked how long she was at the hospital before they called her. She was still on our health insurance. They billed our insurance. Let's see. It was billed as an ambulance and a rape kit. Again, possible. It's 100% possible. So it says her mom reviewed the bill. Given her history in healthcare, she was able to break down everything the hospital had done for Eliza. She was treated for the overdose, and the rape kit had confirmed a sexual crime. The age of consent in California is 18. So that's something that should actually be on record. If it was a crime and it actually happened and it was documented by the police, there should be documentation of that. So if we give her that much of a leeway to say maybe that actually happened, we can kind of like go from there and say, okay, that one thing happened, now what about the rest? Oh yeah, Timmy's video is 100% gaslighting. He could give lectures on gaslighting. In fact, I'm pretty sure he already has. I'm pretty sure I just watched a lecture from him on gaslighting an hour ago. So it says the age of consent is 18 in California, which is crazy because my state is 16. It's so fucked up. To be clear, 16 is not old enough. That's just, I'm just throwing that out there just in case anybody took that out of context. And then you got her plane ticket home, I asked. Yes, and I was looking for this, beautiful blonde girl. That's the daughter I remembered. And I'm looking around like, the plane's landed, but where is she? I didn't even see her. She was huddled in one of those chairs outside of the gate, curled up in a ball. I didn't recognize her. She was skin and bones. Her hair had been dyed black, and she was sleeping. It was like going up to a stranger and saying, "Are you my daughter?" Let's see. She didn't really respond for at least 5 days. I'd take food up to her and stuff. I'm a health professional. I knew she was alive and okay, but she was sleeping a lot. Not talking. Took her a while to get back to being herself. Sex crimes of minors are sealed, so it's not public. Oh my god. I didn't even think of that. Holy shit. That's perfect. It's the perfect crime. She doesn't have to prove it. A lot of women surround themselves with scumbags so that they can just complain about it. That's 100% true. Tim Pool told all of us, guys, don't let me forget, when I get off of here and go to bed, I have got to unsubscribe from Tim Pool because I want to affect his numbers for tomorrow, or today, I guess it is, because it's now 12:20. He says he doesn't care. He claims he doesn't care. Let's see if he doesn't care. We'll see if the viewership drops. We'll see if the revenue starts getting lower and smaller and see how he reacts to that. All right, so it says, at that point, I only knew the doctor had told me. He also said something to the effect of, in this area, we see this all the time. Again, great parenting. Fantastic parenting. And when she came to, I understand she went back to LA fairly soon after yesterday. I don't get it. I don't freaking get it. How can you as a parent, and yes, your child might be 18 at this point, they might be 20, 25. My children will never be too old for me to say, what the fuck are you doing? Why would you put yourself back in this same situation? Like, come on. Oh, anybody, guys, if you ever try to join the Discord and it gives you shit because of the CAPTCHA thing, just message me on here or on Discord or whatever. I can just verify you automatically. I don't know what the hell's going on with that CAPTCHA thing. I had it working and then I think it stopped working. I don't know. Okay, so part of the difficulty was she's got an apartment out there, she's got a car, and we were trying to decide, what do we do? Do we go back and get the stuff ourselves and bring it here? People will think, how could this happen to a politician's daughter, I said. It happened to literally anybody. She said, taking some offense to the question. You would be on stronger ground by saying she grew up in this deeply Christian home, and how could this have happened? That could be your argument. So my wife and I were talking about this, and I know I'm going to get off topic at this point. Oh, Lohan, appreciate it. Let me know if it works for you. How'd she get an apartment at 17? Well, clearly it's in her parents' name. Okay, so there's if that's true, it would have to be in her parents' name. Problem is, at least in my state, you can't be on a lease if you're not living there. If you're living there over a certain age, you have to be on the lease. And if you're not living there, you can't be on the lease. So they had to, I don't know. That's a good question. But we were talking about this because Eliza has rolled out this whole Christian thing. Oh, my Christian home, my Christian brothers at Babylon B, my deep religious convictions. I've got God on my side and I've got Jesus and stuff. And I'm not mocking any of that if it's sincere. But like, at what point in there, in her 30s, was clapping her cheeks for Jesus a thing? Because I'm really confused. I've been to a lot of churches in my life. I've been in and out of church. I've grew up with religion and Christianity and reading the Bible and stuff. Never once did I ever see anybody clapping their cheeks for Jesus. And so I love how people like her, they use this religion thing. Jack Murphy did the same thing. She is legitimately Jack Murphy 2.0, where all of a sudden she faces some controversy and suddenly she turns to God. It's like, oh no, I've got God on my side. Now I win. It's like, haha, I've got the high ground. You can't say anything now. It's insane. Let's see. It would damage his business model to denounce Eliza. He wants a reputation with his guests of being loyal to them. It secures him bigger guests. That could be it. That very well could be it. It's not her apartment, it's her dad's, and it's her dad's car. In my state in Washington here, if you're not living there, you can't be on the lease. So I don't understand, unless it was literally like he bought an apartment for her to live in. I mean, that's another side of it. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe he actually bought a little studio apartment. Yeah, she probably references God quite a bit. So, okay, she has an apartment car. We couldn't decide what to do with her. Could happen to anybody. When she went back, we'd visit them with the open meetings with her. So did she go back at 17 years old, 18 years old? This sounds like they got her home. She spent some time at home, and then she immediately turned around and went back over there. Was she still 17? This is insane. Eventually, Eliza met a man she would marry. Before they moved back to Illinois to live with her parents, they would lived in a teepee in Big Bear, California, and they started a band. Holy shit, she's like a child of the corn, kind of like flower child. Being a Christian now is like buying a country club membership for the free get out of jail card, right? And that's the thing. It's like, at the same time, Christianity is like the most persecuted religion in the planet. You can look up the number of people who are killed for like their religion, and Christianity is still damn near the top. And yet, it used to be when I was a kid that Christians were made fun of, and it still is to this day, the religion you can make fun of. But for some reason, some weird twisted reason, people can use it like a shield. Certain people are allowed to grab it and say, "Oh no, I have God on my side. You can't do anything to me." It's like, it didn't work that way in the 90s. Didn't work that way in the 2000s. Like, what the hell? Oh man, let's see. I know. Well, the Tebow Talk thing, it's like, well, my Twitch name was Run Tebow Run. YouTube, I'm going to talk about stuff. Tebow Talk. I don't know. I had some guy that thought I was trying to trick everybody into thinking I was Tim Tebow. I'm like, dude, Tim Tebow is 3 times my size. Okay, we look nothing alike. We sound nothing alike. It's a meme. It was a gamer tag. Yeah, she was allegedly homeschooled. That's right. Oh, it is using any religion, but particularly because my connection to it, Christianity, yeah, that's really, really vile. Always hide behind religion. Mavis, it's crazy. And it gives religion a bad name, and some religions may deserve it more than others. I'm not going to make any claims. I'm just saying, I've always said this. Why do you find weirdos in church? Because religion, for all the good it does, also attracts freaks. It attracts weirdos. It attracts people who are outcasts in other parts of society. And when you have a religion that has to be open and accepting, at least as far as like letting people in the front door, it's going to let certain people in that are cast out for reasons elsewhere. That's why so many pedos end up clinging on to things like Christianity, because most Christian churches, they're not going to know if you're a pedo. You know, you're going to be that weird guy in the corner that they just kind of like, they pat on the head and they just leave him sitting in the pew there. Nah, Matt, I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm not the real. I'm an imposter, Tebow. Oh, appreciate it, Treehouse. I am West Coast, so I am 3 hours behind you. Most nights, I don't even get to stream until like 9:30, 10 o'clock my time, because the kids are up till like 9:30. So I apologize for all you guys that have to stay up late. I do appreciate it, though. Matt, you're in London? My condolences. Nah, I'm kidding. I always wanted to visit like the UK, Scotland, Ireland, all that, but I've heard London has had its issues with lots of activism, wokeness, immigration, all that fun stuff. California. I was born in Southern Cali. I was born in Hemet and lived in Paris Valley down in Riverside until I was like 4. Been in Washington in the Sunshine State ever since. Tenerife or Tenerife? Where is that at? All right, let's get back to this. I'm getting distracted now. Let's see. Her mom said she was suspicious of her daughter's relationship even when they were still dating. He was an intelligent guy, but they ran off and got married without telling us, so that was not good. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. She was still under 21, but sober. There was a lot of volatility. This is why we didn't want her to marry him. They eloped. He joined the military and they moved to Germany. Oh, so she did go to Germany. Yeah, unfortunately, Gary, that does happen. It really does. It's same as London. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, okay, I got you. 8:29 a.m. here. Man, time zones are an amazing thing. I remember back when I used to play Guild Wars back like 15 years ago. I'd be up like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'd play with a lot of Australians and New Zealanders, and it would be 19 hours ahead, but 5 hours before me. So they were like 5 hours behind me the next day. It was so confusing. In the Canary Islands? Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it was near Africa. Okay, so I'm not completely like, well, geography is not my strong suit, but at least I assumed Africa. Cool. Were you aware of how their relationship was out there? She says, we weren't, not at the time. When she married him and left for Germany, there was almost a year where we didn't speak. My mother was staying in touch with Eliza, was telling me she's okay. We were thinking, okay, Eliza's going to run off and marry somebody we don't approve of. You're going to do this, you're going to do that, then you're on your own. Wasn't until she called and said he's beating me. And, you know, we always had a rule in this house, if you get married, don't come back crying to us every time something goes wrong unless you're being physically abused. I think the next step was we told her to pack her stuff up and get back here. I mean, that's reasonable. Eliza would tell me she didn't understand she was in an abusive relationship. I mean, okay. Realistically speaking, yes, these kind of people do exist, that they think it's their fault, they don't think it's really abuse. Yes, that does happen. But again, all of this is more embellishment on a already exaggerated story with very few facts, very little evidence, that it's just her word against everybody else who's done all this autistic research into it, you know? I was on a flight with a friend on the base, and I was joking with her about how he was treating me, and she got creeped out. She goes, that's abuse. I was saying things like, yeah, he's so crazy, he throws me downstairs and he tried to choke me. I think, okay, fuck off. Oh my God. What a coincidence. It's the, oh dude, that's literally my thought. You pulled the thought out of my head. A very sunny but damp morning here in South Wales. Seems we got rain last night. So I live in Washington, and I'm pretty sure that Washington weather is very similar to the UK. Cloudy most of the year, not a lot of sunshine. The beaches here are really cold. It rains most of the year, but we have really nice summers for a few months. Pretty even temperatures, not too hot. But yeah, very, very wet most of the year. This right here just seems like a load of shit. That's definitely about his business model. Eliza's part of the agenda. I mean, it's either that or she has dirt. It's one or the other. It has to be one or the other. So, okay. She left Germany for Illinois after snapping out of it, apparently. Her mom told her she had to get a job. She chose beauty school. Like every other wannabe influencer girl. I shouldn't make fun of it. Hell, I thought at one point, because I'll dye my wife's hair from time to time, I'm like, hell, I could have done cosmetology and been perfectly happy. Then I thought about it. I'm like, nah, fuck my life. I couldn't do that. So, it says Eliza said she maintained sobriety throughout. Started to wonder if she was even an alcoholic anymore. Because looking back, her sobriety started at such a young age. That's a weird... All of our sobriety starts at a young age because we're not allowed to drink. That's a stupid thing to say. I really don't like his writing. Let's see. Let's get to the meat of this. Everybody was wearing black hair and all those things. She would take her shears and go to Iowa City and do hair and stuff for those up-and-coming bands. Yeah, okay. So she meets Gerard Way. We know this. The My Chemical Romance fanbase hated her. They rallied online against her. They claimed she was a stalker. They were engaged briefly and it fell apart. Eliza told me it wasn't for anything other than the relationship couldn't sustain itself. They were both much younger then, and Eliza, for her part, was dealing with the aftermath of a divorce. Okay. Eventually, she was done with the music scene, maybe because of the way the relationship with Gerard went, maybe because of the ridicule she received from the MCR fanbase. She had toured, been to stadiums, done MTV, and to her, it felt like that part of her life had ran its course. I mean, what? Eventually, she had to grow up? Trafficking is an easy grift. It's the current big topic. No shit. Her mom sat calmly in the living room, allowing me to ask these questions about her family that seemed severely personal. It's an investigative interview. It's going to be personal. Had this man never done any investigative journalism his entire life? He's supposed to be a journalist. There are many contradictions to come. Oh, I bet. I skimmed this earlier. Like, I didn't need to take this much time. This is terrible. More expositional filler here. Let's see. Every time I open Twitter, this is what people were tweet screaming into my brain. She's a fraud, a textbook narcissist, an irrefutable, manipulative, compulsive liar, an evil grifter, the Thanos of thoughts, a deceitful daughter of a dirty politician, a willing participant, fake victim, rape enthusiast. Okay, I've spent a lot of time on Twitter researching this, getting into this. I've never seen this term here. This is like he found one tweet from somebody who said this. The Ray Epps of Feds, that's funny. That's pretty funny. Elon's concubine, fame whore, clout chaser. I've heard a few of those. Others were still claiming that she has tentacles so deep inside Twitter she's acting as a sort of shadow CEO. She has short hair like Elon's mom, so others see this as a reason for Elon bending to her will. Hang on a second. Do they actually address her getting people censored or not? Because I'm not going to read this whole thing if they don't address it. They say I'll be swept away in the fallout of her going nuclear. Eliza's story is more ridiculous than a Mexican telenovela script. I'm surprised she didn't suffer amnesia or kidnapped by a hot mustache man. Maybe she was. There's only aspect of Eliza we wanted to investigate. Oh, I don't want to investigate that far into her. Let's see. My eyes are starting to hurt. I'm feeling like I'm going to put on my stupid blue light glasses. I don't even wear anymore because my eyes are starting to strain a little bit. So if I look like a boomer, I apologize, but I'm tired and my eyes are hurting. Okay. They demand that she must come forward and admit that she's a total con. Well, she kind of is. That her entire family is in on it too. They want her to accept punishment. Some are calling for jail time. They're saying I'll be swept away. Okay, we saw this. Let's see, she was growing impatient. She said, honestly, I like you, Shane, but I don't need Shane Cashman to tell my story. What the fuck? Heard that Elon's mom goofy as fuck. Yeah. Like, literally, he's the one writing the story. This chick is unhinged. I know not everyone in the world is a Twitter junkie like the rest of us, and I still try and have hope this is the case, though after the flood of messages I received, it's becoming harder to believe the whole world hasn't been sucked into the vacuum of Twitter. It hasn't. Ask anybody who doesn't go on Twitter. They know nothing about this. Tucker, what you doing? My cat just went crazy behind me. Scared the shit out of me. Okay. Let's see. I couldn't really explain why yet, but the chaos that exploded from the situation was as horrifying to me as the accusations levied against Eliza. Why is it horrifying unless you have some compulsive need to defend her? She was abused when she was a child and it messed her up. Maybe Eliza was abused and she was young and it really messed her up. I can speak from experience that certain types of abuse will affect the way you look at things in life, and I'm speaking from personal experience here. So I haven't let this affect me as somebody who's like, oh, I'm an abuse victim too, because I don't go through life thinking myself as an abuse victim, but I had abuse from a family member. And it's something that I will say to this day definitely damaged part of who I am and probably damaged my outlook on a lot of things, made it hard to have normal, healthy relationships. And so even though I don't think about it, it's something that really fucks you up, okay? It's something that really messes with you. And so for anybody who's actually pretending that they've been abused, it's unforgivable in my opinion. It's just not okay. Let's see. You look like you've seen a ghost, she said as we stood outside her parents' house. I detest writing under these conditions, I said. Under what conditions? Oh yeah, Gary, absolutely. No? It's not the end of the world. No offense to you, Shane, but I don't think it's so much about my story or clear my name. My name is clear with God. Okay. Well, you're good with the big guys, so as long as you got that figured out. I'm not going to go through all the expositional shit here. This is just nuts. All right, so she moved on to a Christian commune in Chicago. What is a Christian commune? Can anybody fill me in on this? Because I've been part of churches my whole life, never been a part of anything called a commune. And left soon after because she couldn't get her hands on some hair dye. What? Oh my God. This isn't even worth reading. Let's see, one of her clients at the Benefit Brow Bar worked for Chanel. I want you to apply. She got the job. She worked at the Chanel boutique on Michigan Avenue. She was making money. So she's in her 20s at this point. When she applied to be a cocktail server at a strip club, they asked her to audition to dance, and she did. Hang on a second. Let's back up a second. You're a sexual abuse survivor. You've been abused. You've been trafficked. You've been drugged. You've been raped. You get a job. When you're staying at a Christian commune, you leave because you can't get your hands on hair dye. You get a job, and then you go to a strip club. She couldn't have gone to Walmart. She couldn't have gone to another place that wasn't going to sexually traffic people. This doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry. She made sure to tell me that she willingly chose to start dancing. She got the job and soon after drifted back into drinking. That's what a lot of them do, is drugs and alcohol. I don't know that I'm going to be able to finish this tonight. This is so freaking long. I can't even finish this. I'm a third of the way through it and I got to go to bed. This is crazy. So I just want to end with one thing that I saw in this article. Maybe I'll pick this up another night and we can, maybe part 3. I'll live stream after part 3 comes out. We'll just focus on part 3. Hopefully by then the Tim Pool stuff, he can go suck a dick and we can be done talking about him. But like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to read through this tomorrow. I hate myself right now for having to make myself read this. Yeah, and it's not something that I throw out there. It's actually something that I didn't talk about, and then it came up years ago because one of my relatives brought it up because they were aware of it, and I didn't really want to deal with it, and it got really messy. It's affected a lot of my family shit, and it's like it's something that just it's gonna linger until the day I die. You know, I will, Electron. Shouldn't it be us? Right. Yeah, I'm going to go to the comments. But there's some... Shane pissed me off with part of what I saw here. And this is... Somewhere in here, he refers to these people like me, people like The Quartering, people like Brittany Venti, people who have actually covered this, Fair and Balanced, everybody has covered it, as leeches. I made a video exposing her friend as a corrupt fraud, as a grifter, as somebody who's a piece of crap. Not sure how that makes me a leech. I know, Chrome Dome. I got to do the same thing. Thank you for the reminder, by the way. Oh no, Gary, I can't. I got kids and a wife. I'm not going to overwork myself. It's not worth it. I got more important things. You know, as great as this is, until this becomes actual work, I'm not gonna do that to myself or to them. Okay, this is when I started to realize that a lot of people making the most noise about Eliza's story were truly the useful idiots. They became the tools of destruction rooted in absolute ignorance and disguised as moral authority. Fuck you, Shane. 100%. Literally, I don't care anything else that he says in this article. I don't care how much proof that she thought that she provided him or how much he thought that he could like clear her name. We have encountered a gang of leeches here that suck at the skin of a machine that they can't comprehend the full scope of because they're so lost in their own narcissism, or perhaps even worse, they're conscious of a symbiosis between them and the destruction orgy. Carrying torches and pitchforks and masquerading through the internet are perpetual trauma machine. You're not writing a book, dude. This is not fiction. These people are digital cannibals. They care more about their names getting lumped into stories the same way tumors grow in a body. They worship fame. No, I was excited that I exposed something. I took something somebody fed me, and I was like, hey, let me look into that. And I found something. I've been sitting on a story for about a year now that I've wanted to make a video on about a clinical trial for a medicine instead of a poke that they could have actually looked into doing. And I haven't made the video because I haven't finished the research on it. That's not for fame. It's because I started thinking one night and I just started doing some Google researching and shit. And the stuff that I stumbled upon was insane. Now, would I be happy if it gets me subscribers and I can start monetizing my videos? Sure. Who wouldn't like that? But Shane is getting paid to do this article the same way that Tim's getting paid to ignore it. He 100% he's ruined his integrity if he had any to begin with. I bet he's cheating on his wife with her. Oh my God. Oh. How many people? So Eliza's friend, not Annie Donowald, but the Annie who interviewed her that admitted that she had a pimp. That Annie claims that she was servicing 1,000 men a year. Literally, that breaks down to a little less than 3 a day. How is that even physically possible? Okay. Oh, he's trying. He's trying to get a Pulitzer Prize with this. Let's see. Chosen not to talk about it. It's a background story to our own story. It's far more compelling. He's gone down the line of bullshittery. I don't know if he'll regret his actions or not, because if he truly is narcissistic, narcissists do not regret their own choices. They blame everybody else. They care more about getting their names lumped into stories. They worship fame. Is there anything else more to that? You know what? I'm just gonna... But these content creators, as of this exact moment, have tripped over their lynch mob brain as they perform pseudo-intellectual pole dances on their webcams. Hey, my videos, I don't use my webcam for. I use the webcam for live streams. That's it. So piss off, Shane. I mean, for real. Dude, I went through the comments earlier. These are gold. That flushing sound you hear. Hang on a second. We got to go for this. Are you ready? Oh shit! I didn't open my voice mod. Give me 2 seconds. Hang on. I want to do this right. Give me a second to get a drink. And yeah, I think everybody attached to Timcast might be banging her, to be honest. And again, the right-wing commentator space, just like the left-wing commentator space, it's all incestuous. They're all banging each other. I mean, it's just like Hollywood. They're all screwing each other. It is what it is. But, like, let's be honest about it. All right, so that flushing sound you hear is Shane Cashman's credibility going down the crapper. Make me sick. And there we are. All right, this story should have been about her relationship with the platforms and her crushing of dissenting voices, not the dissent itself. Sure, there are concerns about fraud, but that's the motive, not the crime. Those streamers, the ones who this whole scandal rests on since it blew up when they were clearly unrightfully suspended from Twitter, the ostensible victims of Eliza that set this whole thing off and created the firestorm, you are attempting to say that they are at the distant margins of this story? The story, what's primary source, you yourself call into question several times. That is the most ridiculous conclusion possible. If he loses subs, he's losing money by the bags? I hope so. There are stories of him screaming at people for his mistakes. I believe it. She's a succubus. I mean, that's very, very true. Let's see. Thousands of wasted words about nothing, Fluff. Here's the funniest part. You can't like or comment on these unless you are a paid member of Timcast. All these people, all these comments. Okay, hang on, are there more? Okay, so maybe try 2,000 or 20,000 words next time and some journalism training. Wow, one guy, Rob Schubeiger. Good. Okay, let's give this guy a round of applause here. Hang on. Where's the applause? Okay, it says, love your writing, dude. One of the only people I can read without getting bored is fucking stopping. What, did we read the same story? I got a third of the way through it and I was ready to like, just like go to sleep. This is the story about writing a story, edit my man. Hell yeah. Obviously, this is intended to highlight Eliza, tell her story as opposed to an investigative journalism piece. Fair enough. If that's what you're going for, not many people are interested in that, though. They just aren't. And it's just way too long. May I suggest you offer audio versions as other websites do? What you said about creators was really low, very unprofessional. It would have been better if you'd said nothing about that. What I'm not sure you understand is for every person with a platform that she censored, there are several lesser or completely unknown accounts. That would be me. That people, what he just said right there, or what Colleen just said, pardon me, is me. The tiny little creators, the person with 200 Twitter followers that shared a link to a video that was trending and got suspended. That's what she said, 100%. I love That's What She Said. Honest to God, I've got a T-shirt that says That's What She Said. I've got my Michael Scott bobbleheads. I'm kind of a Michael Scott whore. Not even the lie. Highest tax in Europe? Hell yeah. Pay your taxes like the good serf you are. I care about taxes and freedoms. You can sleep with whoever you want if I get my taxes lowered. 100%. Don't touch my guns. Get rid of the IRS. Lower our taxes. Lower government spending. Fire the politicians we have now. Apparently term limits are not a good idea. I've seen conflicting reports on that. Apparently term limits would actually create another problem where they get paid more. I haven't put it together how it actually works out, but somebody was trying to explain it to me. But yeah, there's a lot of things I would rather change than I don't care who you're whoring yourself out to. It's not keeping me up at night, literally, in any way, shape, or form. So Social Blade is reporting Timmy lost at least 10,000 on the 7th. You know what, Magic Treehouse? I've had 100. So I think I broke 100 at some point a year ago, and it's been sitting there because I can't algorithmically grow on Twitter. I don't care. It's kind of like Twitch. This is where I'm at with Twitch. I'm like, I have been sitting at 430 some odd followers on Twitch for a year and a half. And I worked my ass off to get those first 430 and I couldn't grow past that. So some things algorithmically just suck. Things like Facebook and Instagram, ever since they switched to showing you things that people that you follow have liked instead of just showing you things out chronologically, they fucked everything for everybody. My wife was her Instagram account for her Etsy shop. She went from no followers to almost 1,000 followers on Instagram like 2 years ago. She is still sitting at 960 followers. So social media is weird, you know? He criticizes for a living but can't take criticism. Yeah. 10 million on paper. That means he's making more than that, guys. Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. You're a gentleman and a scholar.
Hey, Leafy, thanks for the sub. Appreciate it. You're not the Leafy, are you? I'm pretty sure the Leafy is still banned on YouTube. But yeah, it's not about the follower counts. I care more about you guys that are all sitting here viewing me than however many subs I have on YouTube. Now, obviously, getting monetized is the ultimate goal, so that I can kind of like legitimize the time that I spend doing this kind of stuff. But it's not about having 10 million or 1,000. It's just about the quality of what you're doing, the integrity behind it, and sticking to your guns on shit like 007. Controversial music man on Twitch. Ian responded about his foot job. What? No way. Like recently? Hang on, let me go on Twitter. I'm pretty sure I follow Ian. Ian Crossland, right? Yeah. Since I'm not going to finish that damn article. Oh, did he say it on the show? Oh, damn. I'm not going to see it then. Unless somebody had a link to a video, I'm not going to see it. Whatever. He just did it just now. Oh my god. This is gonna be fodder for a different time. Unless somebody's already clipped it. Hang on. Let me do this. Let me look for it real quick. In Crossland foot job. Weirdest thing to Google at 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm scared about the search results I'm gonna get. Ian Crossland's feet. Ian Crossland. Let me try Ian Crossland. Damn. Well, hang on. So part 3. Part 3 is going to be... I don't know if I'm going to do another live stream before part 3 of Shane Cashman's article comes out. But when his article does drop that day, I will do a live stream that night, guys. So as long as you're all cool to hang out and do that, that's awesome. Hey, Leafy, appreciate it. You'll find the tweet perfect. You should be able to send it. I don't know if I've ever... I don't think I have links disabled. Okay, you're not that content creator. That content creator, Leafy, Leafy is here. I kind of feel like he's almost like an It's a Gundam type, but he got deleted for being way too edgy, apparently. Well, hey, Gary, that's the plan. I'll do what I can, you know? Replying to Sails to the Wind, I'd rather talk about it on the show than in text, but thanks for posting because Adam Crickler's song is... No! Perhaps they were caught in the middle of something. This is after Eliza's first appearance. Holy shit! Oh my god! I'd rather talk about it on the show than in text, but thanks for posting it because Adam Crickler's song is sick. Nothing I heard was sick, first of all. This is like some hippie stoner, I'm gonna strum my guitar and kind of sing, I don't know, it's not my thing, whatever. Wow. But Tim, okay, nothing against you, Ian Crossland, I think you're cool, but if Tim hadn't have gaslit and ostracized his audience, there would have been no need to post it. All we're looking for is truth. Y'all didn't address it candidly. Also, the songs were good. No, I don't know about that. They weren't terrible, but like it was just kind of eh. Dude, this is freaking awesome. Let's see. Your 007 channel was deleted after 5 years, 2,500 videos for sharing too much truth. Oh shit. So that's why you got to do like I do BitChute, Rumble, Odyssey, Minds.com. I'm on Parler, Getter, Twitter, Truth, Gab. The only thing I don't post to is like Facebook. I don't post any videos to Instagram, and I don't use Reddit because Reddit is a shithole. Like if you want to know something like degenerate, go to Reddit. That's about it. These videos are so good. Apparently this chick, she just screen recorded them at some point, but like this is freaking fantastic. Let's see. Don't believe the MSBS, yeah. Some have a vid of Tim and Eliza or pics of Tim and Eliza because I do think there's more. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to kind of like sit tight and see what happens, you know? God only knows. But let's we should probably table it and just kind of like come back to it a different night. Hang on. Do you think there's more evidence based on the way Tim's acting? I 100% believe that there's more. I just don't know how it's going to come out, what form it's going to take. Like, I don't know what there is. Hey, can you guys all do me a favor? I'm going to upload my video again tomorrow morning. I'm going to upload it at like at 11 o'clock. It has nothing to do with Tim Pool. But if you get into like the dystopian shit, maybe give it a watch. I think with the whole Twitter being down thing, Facebook being down, I don't know if YouTube had problems today, but my video got like 19 views in 8 hours. It was depressing. So if you see me upload it, if you have, it's like a 9-minute video, maybe just give it a watch. Let me know what you think. Ian's a paid shill, 100%. After this tweet here, oh my God, he is 100% a paid shill. There's no question. Like, holy shit. But yeah. That being said, guys, super appreciative to everybody who's been here. I did not plan on staying up this late. You guys are freaking awesome. I appreciate everybody hanging out. I appreciate everyone who subscribed, everyone who took part in the poll, everyone who's liked the video. You think Tim would take a 30,000 viewer hit over simply Ian getting laid? No. No, there's something more, 100%. But yeah, again, you guys have been freaking amazing, so I'm going to hit the hay. Treehouse, appreciate it. Tim was probably like, answer this right now. No shit. Oh, it's going to keep going deeper. And that's why I wanted to wait on doing another video about Eliza. I wanted to do one about Eliza, Cernovich, Ian Miles Chong, Mario Nafal, all the grifters, all these people that are all like in the same incestuous cycle, you know? Gary, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it. Same to you, Invictus. I'm out of here.